set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted.
Yes, people. Welcome to LRFC. Welcome to LRFC. What is going on in the world of football? What is going on in the world of football? Crazy stuff is happening to Liverpool Football Club. After that Man United game, a lot of people have discussed, about certain players, which we will be talking about. I've got JK with me. He'll be coming on in a second. We're going to talk about, obviously, the Carabao Cup tomorrow, the semi-final against Tottenham, away first leg. People, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscription button, and hit that notification button as well. So let me bring in JK, and we could discuss everything that you want. Please put it in the comments, and I've already put a poll in there. Do you want Elon Musk to take over Liverpool Football Club as well? So yeah, just share it with me. I'm gonna put an audio out there about Elon Musk. His father's talking about Liverpool takeover. So yeah, let's discuss this. People. Let's bring in Mr. JK, and then we'll do everything else. Let's go, Mr. JK. What's going on, brother?
I'm okay, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. How are you after that that mess against Man United, man?
A little bit sort of could have lost,
Yeah.
like I'm just taking it as a point. It's a Man United Liverpool game, anything can happen.
Exactly, bro.
It doesn't matter about form. It's about two clubs, So for me, I had a little worry because of the Man City result they got.
Yeah.
They weren't away there, and I thought, okay, so they've got it in them to do something.
Yeah.
And I think us guys, again, we were sort of over the top with the confidence. I think, like, I've heard 4, 5, 6, 7-0.
I said 3-0, 4-0. That's what I thought. After, what I saw against Newcastle, that performance was so shameful. I mean? I was expecting us to batter them. But the thing is, JK, it's the behavior of, I don't know what it is. I think it's just the way we went into that game was just completely wrong, in my opinion. I mean, and like singling out players as well. It's not the way, innit? But we'll discuss it. I'm going to come on to that. We're going to discuss that. But it's the Carabao Cup, as you know, JK, semi-finals of the Carabao Cup against Tottenham. It's going to be a difficult game, as you know. Obviously, we beat them 6-3 away in the Premier League. This is not going to be easy. I mean, they probably got players coming back from injury. What do you think of the Carabao Cup in general, anyway, brother?
Like for me, I've always liked the League Cup. It's a cup. We've got 4 competitions that we enter every season and stuff.
Yeah.
Like for me, I want to win them all. And this one's nice because I think Man City winning it a few times and us winning it has gave the cup a bit of stardom, a bit of light and some stars and stuff. So for me, it's the earliest trophy you can win. And it also lets you use every squad player available in the club. And that's what I like about it as well. It's like a squad cup, It isn't just like Champions League where the best players play.
Yeah.
You might get 10 minutes here, there of a youth player. But in the League Cup, it gives you opportunities for other players to get a game. And that's why I really like it.
Yeah, nice one, bro. Nice one. I'm all for the cups anyway, bro. I'm not that type of person that say throw the cups away. I don't want to corrupt players' minds, if you know what I mean, brother. If you corrupt players' minds in regards to competitions, their heads are always going to be there. Like in regards to shall we throw this game away? Like things like that. You shouldn't be corrupting players' minds. You should never do that. I mean, whatever competition you go for it. You know what I mean? Because like I said to you before, JK. We played with 1 sub in the 70s and 80s, you know what I mean? So now you got 5 subs, and the players are different. They don't eat rubbish, you know what I mean? They actually give it, there's nutrition, there's everything. They're fitter than there ever was before. So why are we making excuses for the cups to be thrown away? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Strange thing for me.
It's like even when we used to be like playing regular football and stuff, we used to train Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Yeah.
But on top of that, we didn't have like strict diets, and we weren't getting paid 150 grand a week and stuff. But still, I played like Saturday and Sundays, so I trained Tuesdays, Thursdays, played Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah,
and I could even played more, So for me, I think sometimes fatigue is a part and parcel of the game now more because of social media, photo shoots. You got to fly across the world to go and do a photo shoot here, there. You got interviews. All these sort of things sort of adds to the burden of being a footballer nowadays. Hence why they could be tired, and footballers read social media. So
100%. I've got no doubt about that.
They're reading like Sabotla, he shouldn't be nowhere near the club. They're reading that.
Yeah.
And I don't like fans who do that. I think there's a time and place for it.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Big up Jason, big up Liam, big up John Conway, big up Cedric, big up Gene as well. Thank you for everybody that's tuned in. Appreciate that, guys. Just keep the comments coming in. Ask us any questions. Obviously, we're going to read it out and, discuss it with you guys as well. So please do that for us. Big up Uncle Roz as well at the bottom. Uncle Roz, we don't need that, mate, but thank you for the super chat, brother. Big up my Reds brothers. Big up. You never walk alone, Uncle Roz, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Yeah, so in regards to the obviously the League Cup, Tottenham away ain't gonna be easy, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know if they got injuries, that's coming back. I'm sure there is. There should be, because I think they had a lot of injuries. I'm assuming some of the defenders will be back for this game. With Tottenham, do you think they're having a season due to injuries, the way they're playing, or is it just this is the way they are? What do you make out of it? Because their manager's making a lot of excuses for them, if you know what I mean. Like, we've got this, the referee's not on our side. When things are going bad, you start blaming everybody, don't you? You don't really take responsibilities for your actions, which is no matter what it is, what happens on the pitch, you got to take it to the other team to beat them, if you know what I mean. But the way Andrew's talking at the moment, he's making a lot of excuses. And he's not changing his formation, which is, high line and, counter-attacking from there. But every team has found them out, and they go on the other side. When they put the high line so far up, the ball goes over the top, another team, the team score, basically, or they create a chance. What do you think of that, mate? Like, Ange, the way he's been speaking lately?
Like, I seen the interview with Ange after the game the other day. And I've never really seen him like that before. He looked frail and stuff. He just looked like, I like Ange. I think he's a top guy.
I think so too.
If he became manager of Liverpool, if he came in, I think us guys would have loved him. He's got a bit of stature about him. I always say this: if he was the manager of Man City, and he had the players they had, his system would work. Even with Liverpool, I think his system would work. But when you're at Tottenham and you had Emerson Royale, for example, and you had just certain players that Tottenham have that don't really fit his sort of system. So I feel sorry for him in that way. Look, he went to Man United and Man City, scored 7 goals, conceded 0 in them 2 away games. So for me, he knows what he's doing. But the fans are so toxic, the Tottenham fans. I realise that they're really bad. I'm so happy our fan base, we've got a few good people who come out with certain stuff and that, but like the Tottenham fan base, they're so against the manager, it's unbelievable. And I've seen a show where one guy was sort of sticking up for the manager, everyone jumped on him, like they just jumped on him. And he even came live on the show actually, and they were ripping him to threads. And I'm thinking, okay, Tottenham not in a good place right now. I think their 2 centre backs would have made a difference in certain games for sure. For sure.
I think it's just out of order the way they are. Yeah. I think it's just out of order the way they behave. There's
no respect there.
No. It's I think there's an Arsenal game. No. There was a game against a certain team, and the Tottenham fans they wanted deliberately to lose the game, as I remember last season. So Arsenal don't win the league. If you know what I mean. And then the Ange went up to them and said, if you're corrupting the players' minds like this, what's the point in being here? You know what I mean? Like, he's saying, you know what I mean? You can't do things like that. You know what I mean? You can't. This is why Man United and teams like that don't really prosper anymore, JK, because they deliberately throw games. When you corrupt the players' brains with shit like that, that's what they become eventually, innit? If we could deliberately throw games, you know what I mean? Because because we don't want Liverpool to win the league and all that stuff. That's what you become, because you already put that in the players' minds, and in the future they'll be thinking like that. If you know what I mean, if you still got the same players in your team, and this is why the players don't care anymore. Don't do that to players. Like, this is what I love about our football club. No matter what, even if Man United is going to win the league, we go to win games, right or not? This is how you go.
Yeah. Mentality is a big thing nowadays. It's totally different to like how it used to be.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff going on in the footballer's world nowadays compared to the old days where he went to football training, his wife cooked his dinner, he sat at home, watched the news, went to bed, did it again the next day. Nowadays, it's totally different. So that's why. But respect is a major issue with modern day football fans. I've been saying it for a long time. That was one of the reasons why I jumped onto shows and stuff. I was thinking I don't want that to happen to our fan base. Like, all of us got opinions on the club. Like, I'm not a big fan of the owners, for example, but that's not going to be my main initiative every day. You know, you got to keep respect. Like, the owners know what they're doing. You know, so but the way the Tottenham fans are doing it, they're up there with Arsenal. Arsenal fans now. Like, it's the North London derby. Social media game.
That's mad. Let me read the comments in it, so I don't want to be rude to people. Big up, Jason, man. Big up, man. How are you? We're all good, man. We're all good here. We're trying to recover from the Man United game. You know what I mean? Elon Musk, really, football is finished. Yeah, if he buys Liverpool, we're going to talk about that. We're going to come back to that comment anyway. Big up, John Conway, as well. Cedric says, big up for Zia Sunday. I felt like Chiesa with his face on the bench. Miserable.
I love that comment.
Yeah, it's I felt like, Chiesa with his face on the bench, miserable. Yeah, we was all the same, brother. We're all the same, Cedric, man. Big up, JK says. Big up, chat. Cedric, Happy New Year, Fozzy at LFC. Yeah, big up, Gene, man. That's always Gene. Supportive. Big up, always supporters of us, man. Big up, Cedric from JK. Also to JK.
Cedric.
Big up. As I always say, it just brings us chat. Over here, we actually, read them out, and we don't need no super chats, man. Just do what you can, man. Help us out, with the chats. If we are in them, we are here to win them all. Yeah, 100%, Gene. That's what I'm saying about the Carabao Cup. I've always said it. I want to go to the final. You know what I mean? I want to go and experience things like that with the football club. You know what I mean? I've got as far as I don't know if I ever told you, Jake. I want to, not many people care about the Super Cup. You know what I mean? The UEFA Super Cup. I went to Turkey. I went to Turkey to watch that with my wife, man. Yeah,
wow.
I guess Chelsea. We beat them. It was a penalty shootouts, as I remember. I went all the way down there to watch it, man. That's how far I'll go for this.
Oh, you even went to the US and stuff, bro. You're a proper fan, you know.
I don't muck about, man, with my football club, man. No matter where it goes, if I've got the opportunity to go, I'll take a holiday and go and watch them, man. And,
watch them. Yeah.
Watching cup finals is the most beautiful thing. If you haven't experienced that with Liverpool Football Club, man, you're missing out. Let me just put it. You're missing out. And too busy playing FIFA. The modern day players, yes, they're too busy playing FIFA, Gene. And that's the problem with them. You know what it is? What I've realized about footballers, JK, they're different to our era, bro. They arm around the shoulder players nowadays. They're not really, players you could slap in the face, and you can't do that in the modern day anyway. And wake them up and say, start playing football. You know what I mean? Nowadays they need something like arm around the shoulder just to get them up for games. And this is why it is what it is. And it's a lot of people. A lot of people are right. They're getting paid a lot of money. Why are you downgrading your game? Which is very, very strange in my opinion. 100%.
Yeah, that's mad. Yeah. It's like the higher you get paid, the less you sort of perform.
Yeah,
Bar Messi and say Salah. Salah is like, for me, the prime example opposite of that. But a lot of players have stumbled in their careers because of the money. And that's a big problem we seem to have in football, especially in England. England pays crazy wages to youth players, And Ketia, Arsenal, 100 grand a week. For what?
Fucking hell, man.
That's just madness, man. He's gone to Palace. What's he done? Nothing.
Well, what about Leniaro? I think it's 180 a week. You know what I mean? Look at all these.
That's why the parents and the agent has to come in and keep in balance for the young player. It's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. When you got into it's like madness. You're getting all that money. Like, I want everything. It's just natural instinct of a human. It's mad, and that's where the good players come through that money side of it at the start of their career.
Yeah.
and come out the other side and think, you know what, the money's cool, don't worry about it, I can handle it, you know.
Yeah, it's true, man. Please, people, go and subscribe to Uncle Rod's. He's got a beautiful channel. He's one of the best content creators, in my opinion, out there, and he's consistently doing it as well. You know, every help, you know, counts with our channels. You know, like every chat counts, and we don't ask for much. You know what I mean? He's similar to me. We don't ask for much. Just come on our channel, put the chat there, talk to us. You know, build a relationship with us, and you know, that's the way it is. Yeah, we don't ask for much. That's all we need from you guys, and you know, grow the channel together. People don't forget at the end of the day the people that help them out. You know what I mean? So that's all we ask for. That's all we ask for. Please go and subscribe to Uncle Rod's, man. Appreciate that, everybody. Not utilizing their squad just as we used to. Is this Spurs? Yeah, is this Spurs? I think it's Spurs, isn't it? I think they only got the 11 at Spurs. I don't think they got further than that, Gene. If that's Spurs you're talking about, I think they struggle. This is why they struggle, and their players. I think when I look at Spurs, Gene, there's a lot of muscle injuries, hamstrings, pulling a muscle, and all that stuff. This is why they actually struggle on the pitch. Do you agree, JK, with Spurs? Because there's too many players picking up similar injuries if you look at them.
Injuries is part and parcel of the game. Like their centre backs missing has been a big problem for them. Solanke's sort of been fit, Kuvalevsky, Madison sort of been thingy. But injuries is like, it's the way they play as well. They're very bang bang. And that's going to sort of cost you sometimes, you know. Hamstrings are going to get pulled.
Yeah, that's what they're facing actually. And you know, like high intensity football, it doesn't matter how fit you are, it's gonna affect you in the long run. If you know what I mean. In the game, especially in the modern day, the amount of games you play, you gotta like utilize the squad, like Gene, like you said. And I don't think enough. You know, a lot of teams do that. And look at Man City as well. You know, what I mean, they didn't buy a lot of players. Now they're facing the consequences in regards to their squad. It's limited. You know, what I mean, Man City of all teams we're talking about right here. And when you don't have the strength and depth, it happens to you. This is what worries me about Liverpool this month and the next few months. Are we going to buy players to strengthen our team to help them out? Because we're fighting for a league title, we're fighting for Champions League, we're fighting for the League Cup, we're fighting for the FA Cup. You know what I mean? Imagine having the right squad for these competitions, how far you can go. But we're not putting ourselves in any situations like that because we're in the 7th of January and we still haven't got anyone through the door. I thought, like, you know, in the last 4 to 5 months, especially before the summer, we could have got players ready if it's not for the, you know, the August transfer window. But now, and we haven't even done that. That shows the lack of ambition from the ownership that we have. Because any good ownership that's serious about football, they'll be getting players ready right now to get us over the line in the next few months. Like I've always said as well, guys, you learn from past mistakes. We've had a lot of mistakes in the past with Mr. Jurgen Klopp in regards to not signing players in Jan and helping him out. But we're not learning. We're still in the same position as we was before. We haven't signed anyone. Forget back Chiesa, guys. He hasn't even kicked the ball. We haven't signed anyone this summer. But yet, we're still not doing it in January. That's what's upsetting me more than anything. You saw the game against Man United the other day. The bench wasn't that strong. I mean, we're bringing on the guy JK's got on the picture there. Darwin Núñez is no longer effective in games. Like he came on.
He was lost, bro.
What did he do, JK? What did he actually do in the game, mate?
Like he tried a few runs and stuff, but there was a passage of play where he looked like he just walked out of a nightclub.
Yeah. Like
50 pints, whatever. And he didn't know where he was. Like he was just running all over the place. And I was like, normally when Darwin runs, like when he comes on a sub, first things first, he's very, I'm running after the ball. But this one, he didn't know where he was going or coming or going, you know. He didn't really affect the game. Jota, I think for me there and then, as soon as the goal went in, I'm like, Darwin, it's okay. We're going to bring Endo on with Jota. You know, take Curtis and Diaz off. Yeah. That would have been the better option. Okay, if it stayed 1-0, I'm happy with them two guys coming on. Yeah. But I think that 1-1 there and then was for me, you know what? Endo, you come on instead of Darwin.
Yeah, 100%.
Did he want to hurt his feelings by telling him that? I think he's hurt his feelings enough. So it wouldn't have really made a difference by telling Darwin to sit
you know,
down.
like JK, I'll if I was them, I'll look at what's at stake here. You know what I mean? Even if I'm looking for a move away from Liverpool in the summer, put yourself in a good position, win the league. You know what I mean? The big clubs will come for you. Do you remember when we won the league and the Champions League? How many big clubs were paying over the odds for our players like Solanke, Harry Wilson, all these guys? You know what I mean? Look what clubs came for them guys. You know what I mean? You could put yourself in such a good position. The big clubs will come in for you. But these players are not showing anything. Darwin Núñez is done. You know what I mean? He's not doing anything remotely close to, even staying at Liverpool. This is the saddest thing about it. This is the most expensive signing we've had in our history, and the guy is not even showing up for games, man. It's madness, man. Like I've always said it. If you're not doing much, if you're not happy being on the bench, come on as a sub and change the game, as he did against Newcastle last season. Came on, scored 2 goals, then he started playing again. This is what he needs to do. But while I'm looking at Darwin Núñez now, it doesn't look like he wants to be at Liverpool anymore.
Yeah. I've seen it in his energy, his body language and stuff. But when we scored the goal to equalise before he came on, did you see him and Jota?
Yeah, they were
celebrating like they scored the bloody goal themselves. So for me, it was just weird seeing Darwin come on and do absolutely zero. Madness, the way he celebrated that goal, he was happy. Like for me, he wouldn't have celebrated that goal the way he did if he didn't want to play football for Liverpool.
Exactly,
watch it back, bro. You'll see it. You'll see how Darwin and Jota celebrated. It was like really nice to see.
Yeah.
So for me, I just don't understand Darwin's sort of situation in that way where, he wants to start every game. Who doesn't when you play football, That's the main game. I want to start games. He isn't getting that. And so his football shows you what's happening,
100%. Steve says, let's go, chat. Big up, Steve, as always, bro. Big up to him. Always helpful, man, like everybody else. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, by the way.
Everyone,
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. Don't worry, Steve. I'll come back to that, man. Yeah, let me just go through the comments. And everybody is there. Relaxed fans to start Henry protest them. They have more. I don't want to say that word than the fans in the city of Liverpool. I don't want to criticize anybody at the moment. Let's just But I know what you mean. Brother. I know what you mean. In the football authorities can bring in a basic wage structure. Yeah, I think that's what they should do, bro. For the youngsters especially, about the wages. I think youngsters are taking too much, bro. I honestly think that. I mean, that spoils them as a footballer. Sometimes when you give them so much money, they forget about what their ambitions are, which is becoming a world class.
Even older players.
Yeah.
Danny Drinkwater, bro, went from Leicester City. Ended up at Chelsea with the big bucks, and you never seen him again. It happens to a lot of players, and people don't really understand what I mean by that. It's like money's a bit of the devil, you know what I mean? It ruined Danny Drinkwater, ruined him.
It's sad because a lot of teams were looking at him back in the days. I remember when Leicester won the league. And he went to Chelsea. Didn't see him out after that.
Yeah,
he took the money. He could have just stayed at Leicester and played in the Champions League with them and try further his career. And he just disappeared. Big up, Brian, man. I haven't seen you for a bit. How is it going, bro?
Very good, very good.
Bless
thanks
Brian.
for the invite. Thanks for the invite.
Man, you guys are always welcome. You know that. I told you last time, bro. Anytime you guys want to come on, just come on, man. I mean, I'm here for you.
Family, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Brian, so what do you think of the Carabao Cup, mate? Are you one of those fans that wants to jump out, or are you one of those fans that wants to stay in?
At this stage, mate, there ain't no jumping out, is there?
Yeah.
You can pull one early doors and say, do you know what, bit of a thin squad here. Few issues, maybe one of the early rounds, you get a tough one, and look, we can. If we lose that one, it's not the worst thing in the world. But when you get to quarterfinals, semi-finals, no, man. Like Pep always used to say, the fact that it's in March, he said, there's no other country in Europe where you can win something that early, and if a squad wins something, it gives them incredible kind of motivation. It brings a squad together. That's why he always went strong in it. So. Yeah, for me, man, at this stage, especially looking at the state of that Spurs team we're going to be playing, why not?
Goodness me. Yeah.
Why not go and win it?
I've always said that, like, don't corrupt players' minds, and that's what I said to JK at the beginning, Brian. When you start corrupting players' minds in regards to throwing games, that's how you become. You know what I mean? And it's hard to come out of that eventually because the players have that in their minds. As long as they're at that club. So yeah, don't ever do things like that. I'm all about the cups. I'm old school like you two. You know what I mean? Like in the 70s and 80s, we had one sub. You know what I mean? And we still used to win all those competitions.
Yeah.
What's the difference? What's changed now, Brian? I don't understand, bro. Like, why do fans want to throw competitions like this when it's beautiful? Not only that, what's funny, Brian and JK, it's the same fans that wants to throw the the cups that actually go to the final when we get there. You know what I mean?
Weird.
It's this elite mentality, Fuzzy. A lot of these fans now, they want to project having this elite mentality, and it's like, I don't care about these Mickey Mouse cups. I don't care about. I mean, that stuff turns my stomach when I hear
100%.
It's like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Go to Anfield, do your little stadium tour, and look at that wall. Do you think they have a cross through all the cups and have Mickey Mouse written under them? No, they have numbers written under them. It's part of the fabric and history of the club. It's just, what. And like you were saying, at what what do you do, man? Do you walk into the dressing room, right? You get all your boys around together and go, right, boys, we're losing this one tonight, okay? How would that even work? Like,
True.
It's corrupted, innit? Corrupting players' minds. You don't do that, man. Look at Man United. Why are they in this situation? Because they've been doing that for years, innit? They always go into games. Oh, we want Liverpool winning the league, or this and that. Let's throw the game. And now look at their players. They can't come out of that now. You know what I mean? They got the same players that was doing that. Do you remember a couple of seasons ago when we was going to Old Trafford and all that stuff, and Man City was going to Old Trafford, and they're saying, no, let Man City win this game so Liverpool don't win the league. I mean, you don't do that, man. And
I heard about that.
Yeah, you don't do that. Otherwise, that's what that club becomes. And now look at that. They're 14th, 13th in the league, and unfortunately, we drew with them the other day. You know what I mean? But they're bad. They're really, really bad. If you look at that, man. And
but have you noticed?
I don't want to be part of that.
Have you also noticed that that everyone's against Liverpool right now? Like Man United, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, they're all against us. I've never seen this like against Man City. Like everyone's against Man City, really.
Yeah.
But when it's us, they seem to really like team up together to go against us. That's why for me it's very important this fan base stay as one, keep it cool. No need to take the piss out of the players 24/7. Say your opinions and stuff, but be different to the other guys. The other guys are really horrible and weak, like Tottenham, Man City, all of them. They don't stop bloody moaning. You know 100%. What? They want to moan. You only moan if you've won something. You know. So Man City, fair enough. They've done it. They can moan a little bit. Don't get me wrong. But for me to see Liverpool fans moaning, the only thing I would moan about is the owners.
Yeah.
We've seen it again. This window has been open 6-7 days now. Nothing's happened. The summer just gone. We've got an injured Italian guy coming. This January before, when we needed someone to push for the title, because against Newcastle, the first game in January, we won 4-2. We were top of the league.
Yeah.
Salah went to the AFCON. We didn't buy nobody. And so think about it. The owners haven't spent a dime in a long time.
There's nothing that's never come out of their pocket. It's true. That is true, 100%. And I'm not expecting. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not expecting anything this transfer window either.
No. For me, the transfers in Liverpool Football Club to win things, like for me, these are like strategic transfers now. These are moves you make to just to cement where you're at. We're top of the league. We're top of the Champions League. So if you want to go and win them two competitions and the League Cup and the FA Cup, add a little bit of oomph into that midfield or something. Bring one guy in, at least one guy,
Just to boost, just to bolster the squad, and a competition for places, it brings confidence in the other players in it to do that much further on the pitch, so they don't lose their position in it, guys. But we're not doing that. We've got the first 11, and then whatever's after that, the manager doesn't use. Look at Endo. Like how long is Endo going to be sitting on the bench, coming on the last 5 minutes of games? Like it's an insult, man, as well to that poor guy, in my opinion. But
for me, it's about to start tomorrow. 100%. Midfield tomorrow for me, I'd go Endo, Elliott, and Szoboszlai if he's sound to play.
Yeah,
that's it.
I want to do. Hang on, let me just do this. See if I could bring it up. I want to get you guys. We're going to talk about obviously. Hang on, let me just read Jean's message. Jean says, listening to expressions that his Ange did not rotate enough till the injuries are now serious. Yeah, I said that. I just think they just got their 11. That's all they got. I don't think they got anything further than that. Tottenham. This is the problem they're facing, and they put. I think Brian. I think they're just playing with young players, aren't they, at the back end that now?
They've got that kid. Or quickly, actually, before you move on, I think a lot of this started when Man United binned off the FA Cup to go to the Club World Cup. I think that was where a lot of this shit started. But yeah, he's playing that young lad, Archie Gray, that they bought from Leeds, who's one of the best young players out there. I thought
he's good. He's good. I like him.
Very good.
Yeah, I was impressed with him even when we were putting 6 past him. I thought he looked like the most composed player on the pitch. But I read today that they could be looking at playing him and Jed Spence at centre half.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, they've got some other kid I've never heard. Like, yeah, they basically anybody that's a defender at that club is out. Reguilon's out, Udogi's out, Van de Ven is out, Dragson's out, Romero's out.
Goodness me, man. That's a lot of players out. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of players out.
The thing is with them, their attack is still there, innit, Brian and JK? Their attack is still there. They're scoring the goals, but imagine if the defense and obviously the forward line and midfield comes together, what they could have done this season. Top 4, I think. Honestly, I honestly think that because they're scoring the goals, aren't they? I think they're one of the top scorers in the league, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, I think they're second or third. Liverpool are top.
Dangerous.
Yeah, they are, man.
Dangerous side. But I did see something the other day when one of the matches on, and it was like a watch along call-in thing, and I reckon 90% of those fans want Ange out, and about 95% of them blame him for the injuries. It's crazy. They really had enough of these guys. They've had enough of this lad. Kamikaze football, hamstring injuries all over the place. It's like a battlefield out there. People just lying all over the place. Like, they ain't happy with this guy.
It's the formation, mate. It's the formation. It's a demanding formation, isn't it? Like, it's a lot of running, a lot of the players are not used to it. It's something that would be a long-term kind of thing. If you know what I mean, the manager has to stay there for a long time to get it right eventually. If you know what I mean, guys. Doing it now is too early. You know what I mean? You got to take it step by step. You got to use the formation for the strength of the players that you got. Right? That's what you got to do. But playing high expensive football, high intensity football, and all that stuff, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work straight away, especially when you come into a football club. If you haven't got the players for that as well. If you look at Van de Ven, he's getting a lot of hamstring injuries because he's doing a lot of running. You know what I mean? You look at Romero, the defender, he's getting muscle injuries. I mean, so if these type of injuries are happening, it's because you're making the players run a lot and doing too much on the pitch. And as he said, Brian, he and JK, he's not going to change the formation. He said, no matter what, he's going to stick with it, and this is going to happen a lot. It's going to happen a lot until he leaves, to be fair.
That crack might work up in Celtic, You might get away with that up in Scotland, but you're not. He's getting found out pretty short order in the Premier League.
100%. Guys, I want to do the formation, then we could go to the other stuff that I have for you guys. And what do you think? Obviously, Kelleher is going to be in goal. Who do you think is going to be the right back for this game?
Oh, Bradley, 100% for me, anyway.
Same as.
Yeah? Okay. Centre backs?
It's a tough one here, you see.
I'm going
Konate is back, innit? Konate is back, and Van Dijk's there. Kwanzaa is there. That's about it, really. And Endo played last time as a centre back, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm going Virgil and Kwanzaa.
It's a semi-final, so he's going to go full strength, isn't he? He's not going to
he has to, I think.
Yeah. Simicast left back, guys, you up for that?
I'm up for that, yeah.
Yeah, no problem with that.
DM Endo?
Yeah.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Rest Gravenberch, innit? So
yeah. Endo's played every minute in the cup so far, so he's guaranteed for me.
Who's next to him, guys?
Szoboszlai.
He might not be fit, but they're going to try him out today, apparently, in the press conference.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay.
If not...
you as well, Brian? Is that okay?
If he's fit, yeah.
Okay.
Or well, he was
Yeah.
just ill, wasn't he? He wasn't unfit.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
just
It
sick.
wasn't.
So
It's
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that works for me.
Yeah.
What
Look,
about the number 10 ball, Elliot? Yeah.
I'm going Elliot.
You know, guys. I was in America watching Liverpool. Elliot played in the number 10 role. He was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, pre-season, Elliot was on it with the Carvalho. And both haven't, like, Carvalho left, but like Elliot got injured.
Yeah.
That ruined his sort of progress from where he's, like, for me, he's a good little player, Elliot. So to see him in that 10, where he didn't have to run up and down, because he's not really fast and he can't really run a lot. Play him in that role, number 10. Perfect.
Well, okay. What about you, Brian?
I don't know on that one. Yeah, Elliot Jones. Jones available?
Yeah, he's available. He just didn't play well.
Could be either or.
Yeah.
Could be either or. Has he lost his place? Yeah, I'll go with Elliot too. That's cool. Yeah.
The right wing.
Mo
I'm going
starts.
Salah.
Mo
Mo
starts.
starts.
Chiesa. No Chiesa?
Yeah.
No,
No.
Mo will start.
It's a semi-final, isn't it? So
It's semi-final.
left.
Gapco.
What about you, Brian?
Diaz.
Me too. The reason I said Diaz, I think the striker bit is too much now. He's done all right. I just want him to go back to the left and see.
Back to his roots.
Yeah, get back to your roots, man. After the Man United game, after the Man United game, just go back.
Yeah, put him back there. Yeah, okay.
Even though we know Gakpo is the best one out there at the moment, but striker.
That's the one now. Jota. Yeah.
He's back in it. He needs game time, doesn't he, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, get him on the pitch.
Get him on the pitch. He looks lively as well.
Against a ragbag defense of all bits and pieces thrown together, a little sneaky, little clever little player like Jota, he could have a field day.
Can I ask you guys a question? Yeah, you know, I guess Man United. Where did we lose the battle, man? Because I looked at the game. I didn't watch it back because I can't watch back Man United games. I get hurt so much. You know the rivalry, guys. Do you think, like, from what I saw in the game when I was watching it live, I didn't do a watch along or anything like that. I'm not these games. I don't care. I'm not watching it live watch alongs.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Yeah. You have to like watch it properly. Do you think like the midfield and the attack was too far apart, and the defense? Sorry, and the defense as well. This is why Man United, had the joy in the midfield area. I think I honestly thought the gaps in midfield to the defense and the attack was too far apart. That's why Man United, got the joy in the game, because whatever they were doing, first ball, second ball, third ball, they were winning every single time. And not only that, have you seen in the game, guys? Yeah, each time our players are all on this side. Sorry, I know it's not the same players. When we move, the ball on this side, there was always a gap here, and they were using it. It's they intentionally took out, because they know Liverpool. We always do that. We're always, going to one side of the pitch if the ball is on one side of the pitch. If you know what I mean, guys. And there was a big gap here, and they basically used it well throughout the game. Every single time I saw them push us out wide like that, the ball was, crossfield pass here, and this is how they got the joy to get the balls in the box a lot. I honestly think it's just too many gaps for them to exploit, and I think they analysed obviously Liverpool throughout the days they were off, and they just exploited our weak points.
I think if you were to look at Bruno Fernandes's heat map, it would basically be that circle right there. He just lived in that area. We gave him about 3 corners in a row at one point, all off the left-hand side. Yeah, they were just living in that spot right there and causing us trouble all day.
Yeah.
I think Amram did a really good job at the tactics.
100%.
You could see afterwards, Slot was really uncomfortable with the way they played. He was trying to put it down, but you could see it got under his skin. Why did it get under his skin? Because he couldn't find a way to play against it. He didn't like it. Yeah, they were going long. They were going direct.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, he was saying like the first duel was always between the centre, was with a defender.
Yeah.
They were putting us under all that pressure. We didn't like it. We didn't know how to deal with it that well. And I think Amram watched how basically, if you're going to play against a Liverpool team that's only lost once this season, well,
Yeah.
you're going to watch the game that they lost and see how they lost it.
Spot on.
And he basically did what Forest did and put us under pressure. And we've got to go away to Forest now soon. So Arne Slot's going to have to learn to deal with this type of football, because he's come out and said he doesn't like playing against it, which is a big mistake for me. You're telling people what you don't like them to do, because now they'll just do it.
Yeah.
You know?
And Forest won last night 3-0.
And
Yeah,
not only
they're
that, they won 3-0. They won it convincingly. We went away to Wolves and we struggled. Remember, they had a goal actually. You know what I mean?
And Wolves were on form as well. They were going into the game 7 points from 9, and I thought, they'll give Forest a game. But Forest on the counter attack destroyed them.
Goodness
so for me, the Forest game at home for them is going to sort of play into our book a bit better, because for me at home they're going to be attacking, where at Liverpool they just waited and then bang. So for me, they're going to be at home, so they're going to be attacking. We can do the same what they did to us at Anfield. That's my opinion. It's the best way to do it.
What I think, guys, like, you know, when I watch Liverpool, if you see the line where we are, this is the midfield and the attack and the defense. To me, they're too far apart. You know what I mean, these lines should not be this much apart. You know what I mean? There's certain times in the games, like, you got to be smart, right? You're 2-1 up. What do, Brian and JK? You go back, don't you? You go back 5 steps. So you shut up shop, basically. And then you cover the weak position, which is the right side. Salah ain't going to come back, guys. He's not going to come back and help.
No, if you're expecting that to start now, it ain't going to happen.
He's not a Mane, is he, Brian? He's not a Mane that's going to go back and help you out, or Gakpo. So you gotta like play it smart. You're 2-1 up. I think it was 75 minutes in it, something like that. It was 2-1 up, something like that. At the 70th minute or something along those lines. So once that happens, you just push back. You know what I mean? You don't stay in the same position. Everybody, go back. Like, make sure they don't come at you as they did in the first half and second half. Because I thought we lost the battles. I honestly think that. I honestly think the way Man United played, they you know, when you beat a team battling wise, it's more or less game over. When they win the ball, the first ball, second ball, third ball, continuously throughout the game. And this is what we faced against Man United. And they had a lot of joy. And I've seen sometimes we boxed a player in. I don't know if you see that, JK and Brian. We boxed Fernandes about 3 or 4 times, and he come out of it every single time. How can 4 be like? How can 4 players be around you and you still come out?
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Trent had to get a yellow card for that.
There you go.
You know, how did he? I've noticed this season we're allowing sort of players to worm themselves out of situations, and then what we do is also leave big gaps in the middle of the park. The game against United we lost the midfield battle.
Yeah.
McAllister out the 3 was okay, but for me, Curtis wasn't great. And hence why United, like Mainu and Ugarte, had their best games of their bloody season, them two.
Yeah, they did.
Hence why they took advantage
so
of
did Bruno.
midfield.
So did Bruno. I've heard like, we're talking about this. I've heard Man United fans saying, "Where's that Bruno been for the last 10 games?" They're saying he's been absolutely dog muck all season. That was by far the best he played. So,
oh my God,
how are we allowing him to have his best game of the season? You know. And like, I didn't like what Slot said afterwards when he was defending Trent, and he said, "Well, you got to bear in mind he was up against Bruno Fernandes and Diego Dallo. Like, Diego Dallo is a crap right back. He's not a left back.
You know what I mean? He got man of the match.
And Bruno Fernandes is number 10, not a left winger. You know, so okay, I get the point he was trying to make, and then but the other guy, he left an easy door open to the next guy who said, "Well,
bro.
Why was he left 2-on-1?" And then he was like, "Oh no, well, we weren't leaving him 2-on-1. You know, Grab was helping out." But like you said, Mo hasn't tracked back in about 50 years, man. That's just not his game.
Since he first came, I think the last time I seen him track back.
I think
the
last time I saw him near our corner
when he had no ego, Brian. You know what I mean? When the ego wasn't there, that's when he was. You know, when the players were humble at the time. That's when they were tracking back. Nowadays, you know, the big players tracking back is not something they go. You know, like I've always said it, Brian and JK. If you want to win titles, you got to do by any means necessary. You got to run up and down. You got to do the hard work, the dog work. That's how Man United been successful. That's how Liverpool was successful in the 80s and 70s. This is how, you know what I mean? Man City, look at Man City, the way they used to perform. You know, if you look at Man City back in the day, like, let's just say 4 or 5 years ago, you look at their players, you would never name world-class players, would you? Why? Because they worked as a team. That's why. Liverpool will always say, this is world-class, this is world-class, but they don't work as hard as Man City. You know what I mean? Man City, you know, from De Bruyne to the goalkeeper, they all work hard. You know what I mean? That's why they are the best. And very rarely you could name world-class players because you don't know it's one player doing one thing. You know, you look at the whole team as a whole working together and, you know, going towards that direction. You look at Man United in the 90s. Why were they so good? Because everybody was pulling, you know, their weight on the pitch. Look at Beckham, look at Giggs, look at, you know, Keane and Paul Scholes. They all hard workers. You look at Liverpool in the 80s. You look at Ronnie Whelan, Steve McMahon, Graham Souness, Jimmy Case, you know, Sammy Lee, John Barnes, even John Barnes, the best left winger we ever had in our entire history. You can look back in games. I guarantee you, Brian and Jake, you remember he used to work fucking up and down that left wing. You know what I mean? And this is how a successful team works. Trent, you can't make excuses for him for what he did the other day, but he can't defend. He just, you know what I mean? If he can't defend, you got to put, you know, players in front of him that can. Simple as that.
That's for me standard up and down the wing. You know, when you ain't attacking, you're standing around. Help the right back out or help the left back out. That's just standard for me. Sometimes we don't need it because it depends on the opposition, how they play. That's why, like, United took advantage of our right side, man. It was terrible. I think if we played the game again, Slot would have learnt, and we'll beat them. I believe if we play them tomorrow, if we're playing United at home tomorrow in the semi-final, we'll beat them. Yeah. I think Slot would have learned quickly. I think Slot got it wrong.
Yeah.
Probably the only game he sort of got it wrong this season, I would say. We didn't lose, you know. Should we have won? No. Could we have won? Yeah. I think if we get the 2-1 score as it was, yeah, sound. We'll take that all day, you know, even though we played rubbish.
Or that Virgil chance.
And that Virgil chance for me was the one. That Virgil chance for me just I was like, I just waiting for the.
What kind of header was that, guys?
I couldn't believe it. I thought left or right, bang, it's in.
And you know, maybe he was shocked it came through because all the other corners were shit.
Yeah, but McAllister got a beautiful flick on, you know. All it needed was a little flick, and it would have gone to the side. It was just there for a. And Virgil's good at headers, but as Brian was saying yesterday about the way Virgil heads balls, he's very concrete, bang. He ain't that type of flicker header of a ball, you know. So
he always tries to power it pure straight. Every time Virgil scores a goal, it's because he concentrates on getting a real kind of Chiellini contact on it, like banging it straight.
Yeah,
he needed that. He needs to miss that header, mistime it, and it flicks off the side. It goes in off the other side. The way he just tried to head it straight at the goalkeeper, basically, he doesn't have that ability to kind of flick one. Or because if he'd gone for it, mistimed it slightly, it would have gone in because it would have gone off to the side of the keeper. He wouldn't have meant to do it. He wouldn't have meant to do it, but it would have gone in. He got the pure contact, which just sent it straight at the dude.
Yeah,
you know. But Fozzie, JK, I'll tell you, man, I go crazy when people spend 20 minutes praising players for working hard.
That's part of their job.
I mean, you get paid 120 grand a week, not to be brilliant. Look, if you're not brilliant, okay, that's one thing, okay? But you got to basically, number one, it's a job. You show up and you do your job.
Spot.
If you got people praising guys, oh no, you don't understand the work rate. You don't understand how hard he works. It's just like, how hard do you think? Show me the lazy players. Show me the players that don't work hard because they're not in top 5 football teams. You might find 2 or 3 of them across the league that won't run or won't work. You know, it's, for me, hard work is just what gets you in the building. That's what gets you in the door. It doesn't get you in the team. It's a given. It's a fucking, it's your duty is to work hard. You know, if you're going to stand there, like, man, I compared him to the worst of all time as far as I'm concerned. Well, not the worst of all time, but one of the worst of all time for us. And I said Mario Balotelli. Do you remember when Barry Balotelli just standing in the middle of the pitch watching the game going around?
Man, I went to those games.
Oh my God.
Worst things I've ever seen, mate. I mean, I was saying, bro, you're my
That's
brother.
criminal.
You know what I mean? But what is this shit I'm watching, man? At least try. And mate, the guy scored, I think, 1 goal in a whole season or something like that. That's how
Yeah.
bad it was. It's embarrassing, mate. Like watching players like that. This is what I'm saying. This is the modern day football, Brian and JK. Unfortunately, I mean, like I was telling Brian, I was telling JK before you came on. The modern day football is all about arm around the shoulder of players. You can't slap them anymore to wake them up. You know what I mean? You can't even punish them. You can't even get them out of the team because they're too sensitive. You know what I mean? Oh, I want to leave. But you're not playing well. That's why we took you out at the team. You're not playing well. Okay, I want to leave. This is how they are nowadays. Look at Rashford at Man United. As soon as you take him off the pitch and you don't want to, you take him off the squad, he wants to leave. You know what I mean? Like, but what have you done in the first team for you to stay there? You've done nothing for about 3 years. But they still let you play. Yeah, man, it's madness. But what's the prediction, guys, for this one? Brian, you go first, bro. For the Tottenham game, score.
Yeah, it is. Look, we saw what happened there when you go. It's 6-3. I mean, there's something in the water down there, man. There is something in the water at that place. So even with that team that they have, I'm going to give them at least 1 goal.
Yeah.
Say 3-1. Say 3-1 to us. 3-1 win to us.
JK?
Realistically, I love to play the team we had on Sunday again because I'm thinking in the first leg go strong.
Yeah.
The players I gave you on the setup we just did a minute ago was the players I would like to see playing them positions because I think the guys need a rest and stuff. But if we want to go and win this competition, we can go there tomorrow and get beat 2-3-0. Tottenham can score goals. So for me, I think go strong and we can do a 2-0.
Okay.
I'm taking
2-0, yeah. I say probably 3-1, like Brian. I think so. They will score. Their attack is good, isn't it? They've got their attack still there, aren't they? Yeah. I don't think their attack are injured, so they were always going to score a goal anyway. They're at home as well, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, and Son
I'm just giving one because of that. Like.
Son signed a new contract as well today, I think. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
He did.
What a waste. What a waste that guy, man.
Yeah, he should have left. Should have
left years ago.
Exactly, man.
Big up, Ravi. At least 2 league titles, I'd say.
100%. If he went to the big, he could have went to anyone. He had the pick of the clubs, didn't he, Irishman?
Yeah. Real Madrid, Liverpool, Spur, or City. I think he could have gotten into all those teams, and he'd have a couple of league titles under his belt. He might not still be around or whatever, but 33. They gave him a new contract to stop him leaving because he would have been on a free in the summer. Apparently, his legs have gone, according to some Spurs fans. He's just not the player he was.
Yeah, you could see he's struggling, man. You could see he's struggling, 100%. Guys, I want to talk about Trent, of course. This is what I brought. I wanted to talk about yesterday, but I couldn't wake up because of work commitments. Ravi says, "Big up, lads. Big up, Ravi, man. Sorry, I put your comment for a while there. I want to talk about Trent, guys. Like he's getting a lot of abuse online, and because of one performance, it looks to me so far. And I looked at Trent's, previous records. Like Everton away last season, title decider. We could have stayed in the title race if we won that game. I don't think he performed very well in that one. I think he bottled some of the challenges when Everton were, putting it on us. Why all of a sudden, the same fan base that was supporting him throughout that season, whenever he was making mistakes, turn on him now? That's what I'm a bit confused about, if you know what I mean, guys. I'm not saying what he's doing was right against Man United. You know what I mean? I'm not. You guys know me. I'm not a supportive of players not trying. I'll pick on everyone. Innit, JK? I'll pick on everybody. I don't have no loyalty to players. I said I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm not 5 years old anymore. I like, my favorite player is Trent. It's not like that. If I see a player doing badly, I will pull him up. If you're Scouser, if you're English, if you're black, if you're white, I don't care. But like, what confuses me, guys, is like, if Trent didn't have these contractual issues, would they pick on him like they did in the last few days? That's to both of you.
Is Shaker? Absolutely not, man. Absolutely no chance whatsoever. This is, to me, it just shows you that fans are fans up until a point, and that point is when you even look like you might be thinking about not playing for their club anymore.
Yeah.
Because now it's, well, F you, see you down the road, mate. Don't care. Yeah, you're trash. Bradley's always better than you.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And that's purely because he has the temerity to want to do something different with his life that they want him to do. Now,
Yeah.
we all want him to stay at Liverpool, but if he has another plan for the rest of his life, go live it, man. I ain't going to tell anybody what to do. But
Yeah.
some Liverpool fans, it's you'll never walk alone until where you want to walk to is somewhere other than Liverpool Football Club. Then you can get off on your own. You know,
Yeah.
then all the support dissipates. They're all hounding him. Yeah, you're 100% right, man. If he had just signed a 4-year deal 2 days ago and he puts in that performance, all those boys are backing him. All those boys are coming out and saying, you don't know what you're talking about. He had one bad
Yes.
game. But yeah, this is down to what some people, like, I get it, man. Look, Liverpool was here long before Trent, and it'll be here long after him. We've
100%.
sold some of the best players ever to play football. You know, and we moved on and won titles after that. Kenny Dalglish, John Barnes, Ian Rush, Robbie Fowler, Torres, Suarez. These players have all left the club, and we've gone on and won titles afterwards. So if that's what he's doing, but yeah, man, yeah. It is, you see the reality of people, like, they'll back these players and they give it the thing, but it's like, oh, he should stay, he should do this. It's his life, man. It's his life. Let him do what he wants. And his legacy to me is intact because he's won everything there is to win at the club.
Nice one, bro. Yeah.
So that's it for me.
What about you, JK, mate?
I had a funny feeling last year, you know, when the season ended. Okay, we're going into the new season, slots coming in, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I said, if slots sort of gets us in motion pretty quick and we ended up top of the league table,
yeah,
would these contract talks sort of hinder us in any way? Sunday, I would say it sort of hindered our game, like with Trent, because like Trent is a big part of the team. He gets involved. He's like, for me, one of my favourite players, Trent. I reckon he's great.
Mm-hmm.
But this contract talk sort of might have affected his game on Sunday, for sure. I think everyone just wants to know what's going on. But they were quick enough to tell us how many slots coming in.
Yeah.
You know? Like, even Klopp was still in the club, but they were quick enough to tell us slots coming in. So why aren't they quick enough to tell us what's actually going on with all the three guys? Contract-wise, we've got a league title and a Champions League to win, you know? And they're doing this bullshit again. Happened same thing last year. Klopp resigning. He's going to leave. I know Brian said that we had no chance or choice of like the news getting out and stuff, but the way we handled the whole thing was just not really good for the team and the players. Because what happened? We messed up. We didn't win the league title last year. We didn't even buy anyone in January last year. So for me, the managers always do the job at Liverpool. Like, yeah, the owners make a lot of money through adverts and this, that, and the other. But this contract situation has sort of really, it's starting to get on my nerves now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really want to hear this about Trent. All I want to see is Trent play good football for Liverpool. If he decides to move, his choice. I'm not going to support him at Real Madrid or wherever he wants to go. But I'm not going to go on this flex of like, oh, we're going to swear at him and this, that, and the other, man. Everyone's got a free choice to do what the hell they want. And if he wants to go to leave Liverpool, he's been here for so long, it's his choice, man, you know?
Yeah, you're spot on. Both of you spot on. As I said earlier, before you guys spoke, these people didn't say anything about Trent before. And it's not like the first time he was doing this kind of defending at Liverpool Football Club. He gives away balls all the time. He defends badly every time, but nobody says anything. Because why? Because of contract issues, people are just working up now, like from a coma, and start having a go at him. Listen, I'm not supportive of Trent anyway, of what he did against Man United, but you know, I'm not gonna come out here and be two-faced and start, you know, having a go at him when you could have done that, you know, years ago, and because he was doing the same thing anyway. So, with me, like, if a player is ambitious, as he is, and he wants to win trophies, I guarantee you he sat with the owners, guys. I guarantee you he asked them questions. what's the plan for the next few years? Are we going to be challenging on a consistent basis? Are we going to buy the right players to support us on the pitch? You know what I mean? This is what captains and vice captains do, don't they? So and then he probably got a reply. Maybe not. Maybe it's the next 2 to 3 years. It will be in his 30s by that time. Maybe we could start challenging. On a regular basis. But he wants to win now. Some players want to win now. They want to win championships on a consistent basis. They want to win awards in a consistent basis. If you know what I mean. And if Liverpool ain't offering you that, why would you stay? Like, what's this about loyalty in the modern day football? There's no loyalty in the modern day football.
No such thing as loyalty. Football.
There's no such thing. This is not the 90s and the 80s and 70s and 60s. Nobody cares. If you're born in the city, nobody. I'm sorry. Like, that's gone out the window. Players. Majority of them, I'm saying not all of them, but majority of them are all about winning titles and filling in that trophy cabinet they got at home. That's what it's all about. And the guy said he wants to win a Ballon d'Or. I don't think he's ever going to win a Ballon d'Or as a right back the way he performs.
No.
But at Real Madrid, you got more of a chance of winning things on a consistent basis. This is the difference between us and them. And if we're not offering players, that, why should they stay? Do you get what I'm saying, guys? Does that make sense?
True.
Like, why should they stay? And then he's looking at the likes of Salah and Van Dijk struggling for a contract at their age in the 30s. Imagine when he's thinking about, well, I'm 30. Are they going to treat me the same as well? They're going to delay my contract, make me stick around and all that stuff. That's what I'm saying. People think about their future. This is his last contract in his 20s, guys. Of course, he's going to take his time thinking about it, especially the way Liverpool go about contracting people when people reach 30, if you know what I mean. So even though, like, I'll look at it from a different way, guys. How do we know he's going to go to Real Madrid? Maybe he decided to stay. You know what I mean? And then we're treating him like this right now, the way we're behaving.
Exactly.
Did anyone think about that? Or am I the only one?
Yeah, it's true. Because for me, until it's concrete, official, he's going, he's leaving, you can't say nothing. You know what I mean? So they're going to feel embarrassed if they've took the piss out of him. They're going to feel really embarrassed if he says, you know what, lads, I'm a Scouser. I want to be captain of this club. I want to win things. And I buy a DM for the midfield in January transfer window. Imagine he comes out with that. Does a little press conference. And he says that, I want to win things. And I'll get a DM.
Comes out wearing a Zubamendi shirt.
or an FSG out shirt. The guys who gave him the new contract. But
Fozzie, I totally agree. I said the same as you last night. I'd have 10 grand on that guy never winning a Ballon d'Or, because think about what you have to do to win one.
Yeah.
If you have to win the Champions League or you have to win a major tournament or both, right? So if he wins the Champions League with Real Madrid, what are the chances of him being the best player on that team?
No chance.
No chance. So what do you got to do then? You've got to probably win a World Cup with England and win a league title somewhere. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. And even then, what are the chances he was the best player in that England team? Because he's a right back.
Exactly.
He's not going to win a Ballon d'Or. Unless he thinks he's going to become the next Modric or Pirlo at Madrid and play in the middle.
That's what they said. They said like something along the lines. They want him to replace Cruz or something in that midfield. But the thing is, we saw him play midfield for England in the Euros. Was he good? They took him off. He ended up being a sub. He hasn't got the energy. He hasn't got the aggression. He hasn't got the mentality to play in that midfield. So if you haven't got all that stuff, you know what I mean? You look at him as a right back. Right back's supposed to be having a little bit more aggression, don't they, guys? Like, in regards to defending and that. He hasn't even got that. So how is he going to play midfield if you haven't even got no aggression in your game? You know what I mean? Players will come on to you. They will, you saw him against Man United the other day. He got bullied. He got absolutely bullied by Man United. You know what I mean? I saw him getting pushed. I saw him getting held. He didn't do nothing about it. There was a ball in the air at one stage. You thought he was going to header it. Then he shit it. And he went over him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, those kind of things, like, he needs to stop thinking about it. I'd rather he said, like, he wants to win trophies than, Ballon d'Ors and all that stuff. Ballon d'Or is a big thing, man. Even the best right backs that ever existed didn't win that. What makes you any different? I know you could do long balls and all that stuff. But, that doesn't win you Ballon d'Ors. You need more to your game. You got to be better defensively. You got to be more aggressive on the pitch. You got to be more glued on. You got to give it 100% every game that you play. And you don't do that. So it's impossible for you to get Ballon d'Or, man. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, it's something he's never going to get. It's impossible, guys. It's impossible, in my opinion. But guys, I looked at obviously the last game. I just want to end it with this one, with the goalkeeper Onana. Were you frustrated as much as me like that he wasn't troubled in the game, guys? Because he's a terrible goalkeeper. I don't think we had enough shots at him in the game. I think we let him off in this game, honestly.
They had more shots than us on target as well. You know, that's how bad we really were. Yeah, this guy really didn't really have anything to do. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed in that. He had a bit of a chill day, you know. He let 2 goals in, but he didn't really have to make loads of saves, like, you know. We didn't trouble him enough. We let Harry Maguire play good. You know what I mean? Come on.
What about you, Irishman? What do you think of this, Brian? Like in regards to Onana, like you know what we could have done with him, like especially in the previous games we watched him, like corners and all that stuff. I don't
conceded
think
from a corner against Fulham. I think they conceded twice in a row from corners, but the other keeper was playing in one of the games, and it was Wolves and Fulham. So he conceded, and we tried that. I've actually noticed that a lot of times. People are trying that a lot this year. The Olympico, as they call it, trying to score directly from a corner. Yeah. We tried it against him. McAllister nearly scored. He pulled it off that one great save against McAllister when Mo played the ball off top. Mac was running, hit it first time. He stuck a leg out. You got to say good save, you know. But other than that, yeah, because he is ropey. He's unpredictable. He's the kind of guy that if you give him enough time, he'll make a mistake because he likes to try different things. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed, but I was disappointed like Jacob the whole lot. We weren't able to get a grip on it in any way. If we'd had a proper control of that game, we might have been peppering him a bit more. You know, a lot of opportunities missed, but like you say, man, he's erratic as a keeper. So it's a good point. Yeah, we probably should have. Like, do you mean maybe like hit a few more from long range or
long range?
Tested him a bit.
He's bad. You know that he's bad. You know that. I've seen straight shots going. You know what I mean? So
especially in that weather. Like, we don't really shoot from range, do we? It's obviously something he tells us not to do. I can't remember last time we pinged one from like 25, maybe Trent a while ago, but that's just Trent doing Trent things.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think like it's one of those things that pissed me off about the game, like not troubling him. That's the second game actually at Anfield. Like he's got away with it. If you know what I mean. If you look at last season, it was 0-0. You know what I mean, and then he comes to Anfield again, like, and we don't trouble him as much as we should. If you know what I mean. But listen, it is what it is. I've said it, guys. You know, you have that one day of frustration in regards to the game, which is the game day. Just move on from there. We've got a title to fight for. I don't know why people, you know, are still crying about, you know, this game. It hasn't decided the title. So just get on with it now. Like, forget about the negativity. Let's just support the guys and, you know, try win the league. I don't know why we dwell, guys. I honestly don't know why we always dwell with things when they go wrong. We haven't lost the game. Luckily, we got a draw out of it. We're 6 points clear with a game in hand. So let's just keep continuing, man.
In August, we would have snapped hands off for this. We would
100%.
have bit someone's hand off for this position in August. So
that's what I'm saying. You know, like, count your blessings. Have we got problems? The only problem we have is that we're not going to buy anyone. That's our only problem for me right now. Darwin's not even a problem for me. Why? He's fifth sort of choice attack, sixth. You know, included Chiesa. I think Chiesa should play tomorrow. That's why, like, with the team we sort of picked there, there's a few things we could change about it. But for me right now, injury-wise, we're sort of cool. Gomez is one. Szoboszlai's ill. So we've sort of recuperated in that way. Konate's back now. Bradley's back now. Yeah. So things are looking pretty rosy, you know. So that's why I'm not going to cry over Sunday's game, you know. Yeah. I think we could have lost that game. We could have lost that game. Let's keep it simple. So for me, I'm taking a point. It's Man United, man.
Listen, even when we was in that bad, you remember in the 90s and obviously in the noughties and all that stuff, even Liverpool, when they were bad, we used to beat Man United and they still win the league. Remember what they used to say, guys? Like, you could beat us, but we're still going to win the league. You know what I mean? So they didn't really care. You know what I mean? It happens. This is form, like JK said, form goes out the window for games like this. It's not always going to be, you know, because they're in a bad form, they're going to come to Anfield and roll over. Nah, they're still going to give it their all, man. But the most frustrating thing is, Bruno Fernandes was man of the match.
And you notice that their main two ratty players, Fernandes and Martinez, were the main guys who were actually going for it.
Yeah.
If you didn't notice that, they're the two feisty sort of characters in the squad, in the team. And they were the two guys doing that shit, and no one really sort of worked it out, saying, you know what, these two guys are the main guys. Let's sort of sort them out, Yeah, that's what really wound me up as well. We allowed them two guys to shine too much.
Yeah, 100%. I thought like like when we was 2-1 up, bring on Endo. You know what I mean, with his aggression in the midfield, and just
That's
drop.
Fozzie. Do you have time for a question? Can I
Yeah,
ask
of
you
course,
a question?
always, bro. We
'Cause,
ain't finished
yeah.
yet. Don't worry. It's just on Liverpool. I'm saying I want to talk about Elon Musk next. Go on, carry on though.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering, right? We've seen enough games, right? You're 1-0 down. You're trying to change a game. You've got two subs ready to go. You've got Jota and Nunes, right? You need to change this game, so you're going to bring on two attackers.
Yeah.
And then while they're standing there warming up, bang, you get a goal. And it's 1-1. 9 times out of 10, that manager turns around and tells one of those players to sit back down again.
Yeah.
Or swaps one of the attackers for like an Endo or something. Where, like, I was thinking he's definitely going to have to change this now. He's not going to do this still. I was really surprised that he still brought the two of them on. Did you think that was a good call, or do you think he should have said, actually, do you know what, this is 1-1 now. Darwin, you sit down. I'm going to bring on whoever, like Endo or whoever it might be.
100%.
Yeah, you wouldn't have still done the two.
100%. I would have shut up shop. That's what I would have done. He did that in the past as well. That's what shocked me more than anything. The thing that angered me, Brian and JK, is he didn't bring off Trent in the early minutes, if you know what I mean. Like, from the first minute to to half time, he's having a bad game. Nothing's gonna change because he's getting bullied on the pitch. That's why he should have made changes in regards to bring on Bradley, and then probably 60 minutes when he was doing the substitution, bring on Endo when we're two. I don't know. Like, it's just to me, there is a time you got to think we need some aggression in that midfield. We need to get control of the game. And I don't think he done enough of that. And what angered me, Brian, more than anything to your question, is he brought off Kwanzaa against Ipswich in the beginning of the season when he was having a bad game. I thought Trent had worse a game than Kwanzaa in this game.
Yeah, could have done the same thing.
So
yeah, he could have done exactly
why are
the same
you
thing.
treating Kwanzaa in one way? But and I said that to JK. I remember I said that to you, JK, in past streams. I said to you, I hope he does the same thing when it concerns the bigger players as well. And he didn't do that. I think he shit in that one, to be fair, Brian. I thought, if you're doing that to Kwanzaa at halftime against Ipswich, you should do the same thing. I thought, to be fair, at the two, Kwanzaa had a better game than Trent, if you put them two together.
Yeah,
what do you think about
probably.
that, Brian?
Yeah, that is a good call, actually. I've been praising him, or I've been kind of praising him in advance for what I think he seems to have a bit of a ruthless streak.
Yeah.
But that was a call that, I think he's getting away with one now because he can drop Trent for next game because it's a cup game. He can say it's a cup game. He's not being dropped. But I would love to have known what would have happened if our next game was Chelsea in 3 days' time.
Would he play him? Would he play him?
Would he be playing Trent? Yeah, because he's got a... that is he in deference to Trent? Is he trying to play mind games with Trent? Mm-hmm. Because you now can't talk about Trent playing on that pitch for 20 minutes without talking about his contract is, Arne Slot's thinking that. It's such a mess. So yeah, any other manager, I agree with you, man. Kwanzaa was having a bit of a nightmare, but it wasn't a worse game than Trent was having against Man U. So if it's right then, it's right now. Why didn't he do it?
Exactly.
I saw a crazy stat yesterday, or a take from Simon Burton, the Liverpool football journal, who said that Liverpool deliberately hung Trent out to dry in that game. I thought he went way over the top, but he was saying that they best made him look bad on purpose. It was
wow.
Like, geez, are you writing his autobiography next or something? I'm assuming, because this guy was right up in there, you know what I mean? But he was like, they didn't even do anything to help him when they saw it was going bad. They, it was just like, geez, wow. It was like, okay, someone's coming out to bat for you. It's a take, it's an opinion. But yeah, for me, man, he was off at halftime. He was off at halftime for me too. definitely. So big call. What would you call it? A big call bottled, maybe.
100%. I've got no doubt about that. And I did say that. JK could attest for me. I did say that. Like, I hope he does the same thing with other players if he's doing that to Kwanzaa. And he didn't do it. He's shit, man, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, the manager's done a wonderful job so far, obviously in the Premier League, better than what I expected, to be fair. But if you're coming in with this kind of aura about you and you're saying you're the big man, make sure you do that to every player, not just one. You already destroyed that boy's confidence. He hasn't been the same since. You know what I mean? But if you're leaving Trent on, like what he did in that game.
Kwanzaa's confidence.
Yeah.
Oh, Kwanzaa. Oh, yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, he's been a shadow of the player since. 100%.
There you go. I mean, but yeah. But guys, I want to move on to Elon Musk. Hang on, look what Rafi says. The only way we win the league if we buy in Jan. It's simple. We're not gonna buy anyone, Rafi. If we was gonna buy anyone, we would have done it by now. I mean, we would have been ready by now. I mean, the squad needs strengthening now. It doesn't need strengthening, later in the window. Like, I mean, you had about 4 or 5 months, maybe more than that, if you look up before the summer, to get ready to buy players. You know what I mean? And if you failed in the first, time with Zubimendi, why not the second time get him or someone else ready to, take his place in that midfield? The thing that's going to upset me if time goes on is we're going to burn out the players, guys. We're going to burn out the players because the 11 that we have is the only 11 on the pitch, especially in that central midfield. The two that we have, which is McAllister and McGravenberch, that's the only two that we have. We don't have anything else after that, and that's what's scaring me. If you know what I mean. And if you're looking for a title, this is not the way to go about it. You gotta have depth in that team, and we're not doing that. We're not doing that, and it's something like I said to you guys before. If we lose the league right now, if we don't win the league by now, this season, a lot of questions has to be asked about the ownership. We can't be sitting here again next summer and then talk about the same thing. They bottled the league again, in my opinion, if we don't win the league. If you don't win the league from this right now in this position, you can't be this many points ahead and lose the league. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being serious with you. You can't. JK, do you agree? And Brian?
Jake, go ahead, man.
Like, we've been there, done that before. Last season, for example, as I've said before, like against Newcastle, first game in Jan, we were top of the league, and we started fucking around again. The owners not paying, getting another DM in what we needed. So I'm getting a bit sort of wound up in that way of, do they really actually want to win anything? Like, when you win, you make more money. Why? People are happy. People want to buy football shirts. People want to go to the stadium. It's the whole thing. So, for me, if they're really that good businessmen, why don't they make that win, secure that win, Premier League, Champions League. If you win them 2 trophies, you're going to make money out of it. Why? Whole world will be talking about your club that you own. And I think sometimes they get that connection wrong. I think they're not really, they ain't got that winning mentality in them. Do they want to be top dogs? They're from America. They should know about who wants to be top dog,
Yeah.
So, why don't they want to be top dogs in the game of football? I just don't really understand that. Look how much money they make. Every year we're making money. So use that money to strengthen the team that we can actually win something, that you can make more money out of it at the end of the day. Because it's all about money for them. For us fans, it's all about winning the games. Yeah, of course we want to make money, don't get me wrong, but we want to win games. For them as businessmen, they should work it out and think, you know what? Let's put some players into that team for this January so we can win them 2 tournaments that we actually really, really want to win.
What I said as well, JK, is from this position that we're in, should we win the league by now or not? Or are you still reserved about it?
No. I'm very confident we're going to win.
Yeah.
I'm always saying that. Even when the season starts, I always say we're going to win the league this year. That's the way it's in our DNA, I feel with the squad we have, we can do it. Don't get me wrong. But it's the way football is, injuries, this, that, and the other. Shit happens, and I feel I'd rather be secure in that way of just getting 1 or 2 bodies in.
Yeah.
That can actually do a job. How much is it going to cost you when you look at it, really, You can get a decent player in 30, 40 million, no problem. You can do a job.
Yeah. 100%. What about you, Brian? What do you think of that, mate? in the
on the
position
January, yeah, you've got to, for me, like, I think FSG, you don't get to where they are. You don't get to be the people they are. I think in their lives and the things they do, in what they do, maybe in the States, they would tell you they 100% have a winning mentality. That is what they want to do with just things. But without wanting to offend anybody, I'm not saying Americans don't get European football or don't understand European football, but American hedge funds don't get European football. Like, they literally had to send Billy Hogan here on a crash course to live here for 4 years to figure out what the hell this old football thing was all about. You know, you had John Henry coming out and going with the Suarez thing about apparently there's these things called release clauses they have in England. You know, it's like they absolutely did not get what they were buying. They didn't get it. They're probably understanding a little bit more now, but yet they didn't get what it is in football that you don't do in business. You know, it's weird. I think, yeah, they have I think great owners, stewards and all that, you know, never been in debt, rebuilt the stadium, brought us titles and all that. But just in terms of, it didn't need to be a huge amount extra. You didn't need like that guy on the right there to come in and spend 2 billion. We could have done, like, me and JK always talk about, like, that summer after we won the Champions League, when we brought in Adrian and Sepp Vandenberg, that was like, oh, come on, guys, you can't do that.
Yeah.
We just won a Champions League. You strike while the iron is hot. We're a destination now. You go and you win. No, you go and get some big players in. No. Right now, we look at it as fans and go, what you do right now is you put your foot down in January because you're where you are. Big clubs used to do it back in the day, Fozzie. Do you remember we'd be chasing someone, we think, oh, we might have a bit of a chance here. And then they just go and spend 30 million quid on someone,
100%.
like a striker, and we'd go and do nothing. And we'd, oh, well, that's it. And that would make the difference. Not that that player would win them the league, but they would go out and spend money in January.
Yeah.
And we would do nothing. We were kind of trying to do with what we had. We were having a good season. And then the people who we were trying to catch at Chelsea or United or Arsenal, they just go and drop 50 on something. Yeah. And we're like, okay, you know, we need to do that. We need to show the rest of the league that we're in this where we are. And guess what? We just went and did a Zubamendi and whoever, you know, in freaking January. We did it with Diaz, and we saw the difference, the energy he brought in January.
He was brilliant when he came.
He lit the place up, man. Everybody was like, look at this guy, he's crazy. He's a live wire. People didn't know how to handle him. Do that again. Do something like that again. I prefer a DM, you know, obviously a kind of a more boring, but, you know, an impact player, have the same kind of impact.
100%.
Give Grab a night off, for God's sake. You know, give the man a break.
You're spot on, bro. Like, you know, when you're in a position of like winning, guys, we're almost to 20 points, 20 games into the season. You know what I mean? And so this is the moment. It's like you got to, you know, pull away from everybody. And the worst part of it is each time our rivals drop points, we're dropping points, and it shouldn't be like that. I mean, when our rivals drop points, like the more points that we get on the board, the more points we could get away. Especially, you know, that season we won the league, we could like more or less concentrate on the Champions League. You know what I mean, guys? That's how far we could have like been away from everybody, but we didn't take the opportunity because we don't have the depth in that squad, and we keep playing the same players who are fatigued. If you look at the Man United game, sometimes I see the players running back. They were struggling because they just can't run in every game. They have to do this. Like there was at times games every 3 days, and the same players are playing. And listen, like I said, if we don't win the league from this moment on, and we bottle it, I'm going all out on the owners, mate. Every day I'll come out here, try to get them out. I don't care anymore, man, because you can't neglect the team. You can't neglect the team like that. I'm sorry.
For me, I'm already on that sort of side anyway. I'm really not a big fan of the owners in that way, where their gamble of Moneyball worked to a point, but when you're on top of the tree, to keep staying there, you got to go a little bit extra, and they've never done that. What do you reckon people were moaning about Klopp when he left? Not one, like I've heard, like real like football content creators who support Liverpool really take the piss out of Jurgen Klopp. Not one of them guys ever said, you know what, the owners didn't really support him every season.
Nope.
Players. Not one of them. So for me, that's agenda. You didn't like Jurgen Klopp's personality. That's your problem, bro. For me, Jurgen Klopp was godsend. He put us back on the map, you know, and he did it all on buying players for a fiver down the pub.
Shoestring,
as I always say, Robertson. Pep Guardiola has spent over $250 million on his defense alone. You know what I mean? His defense alone. And Jurgen Klopp, for me, was the guy who got it all, who put it all together, you know? Arne Slot, is he an FSG type of guy? I would say, yeah. Because you can't really see him saying, yeah, I need this guy through a press conference. I think they know before they before they get a manager in, of who they're bringing in. And I think Klopp and Slot, very similar in that way, they could work with a tight budget, type of managers. And that's why Slot was sort of picked. Why he bought like 15 players for 13 million for Feyenoord. So he fits right in for FSG, you know. But to keep the manager happy, do you reckon Arne Slot goes home and thinks, you know what? Imagine we don't win anything this year. Okay, and it's like May now. We ain't winning nothing. Yeah. He's going to think, you know what? I wish I opened my mouth in January and said, you know what? I need to get this guy in and this guy in.
Yeah.
To win. And he said, you know what? I might get sacked now. And that's why I don't understand managers who work under this sort of regime. Yeah. You're sort of willing to give up your sort of security of a job by sort of penny pinching for the owners. Like we're Liverpool Football Club, you know? We're not West Ham. We're not Tottenham. We're Liverpool, you know? And with Elon Musk, like we're going to carry on talking about him, I'm a big no with that one. Like the face says it all. Come on, man. Does he actually know what soccer is? You know?
Well, we've got, he's South African, so, you know, I don't know if you know about South Africans. They're more or less Liverpool fans, aren't they? But we're gonna I used to work in America with a lot of South Africans when I used to go coach them. They're more or less Liverpool fans over there, man. Liverpool's got a big fan base in South Africa. So, and from what I've heard, his grandma is from Liverpool. So this is why they talk about Liverpool Football Club. With him, I don't know what you guys think. You know what I mean? I know his political views in America and all that stuff, and the way he acts around the Palestine, situation at the moment.
Oh, this guy is like, for me, he's too right wing for me to be at a club like Liverpool. Like, get the hell out of here, man.
The question is, would you don't want him at all as
at all? No way. I'd rather have FSG, bro. That's how bad I don't want this guy. Like, you know me, I'm not a big fan of FSG, but I'm willing
to accept FSG before him.
Yeah, man. I can't say anything else more than that. Like, no way, man.
I understand. What about you, Brian?
I'm a bit for JK to say that he would rather have FSG than somebody else. Somebody needs to mark the date. What is it? 7th of January, 5:57. JK said he'd rather have FSG than somebody. Jeez, man. He's a lunatic, this guy, isn't he? He's a total... I mean, he'd probably, the first thing he would do is change the name. It'd be LFX. You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
He changed the name of everything.
He don't care. He don't care. Everything.
You see, the centre circle, we have a big X in the middle. The centre circle, you're having that fuck, it's there forever now. You know, that's not
total nutcase, this guy. Yeah, I mean, richest man in the world. But, I mean, it's a couple of years ago, they were talking about how he was losing 2 billion. Wow. You know, this guy lives in a world where, God knows, these man, you work with them, and I assume you mean kind of white South Africans. Yeah. They are a different breed of people altogether, man. They are built different. They are real different, man.
They're very strong-minded. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, extremely. Yeah,
they're Dutch, really, aren't they?
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. So
that's probably what it is. Arne Slot's probably his cousin or something.
Van Dijk.
Oh God, we're going to find out his other grandmother is Irish next. Next thing, we're going to find out his other grandmother is Irish. So he's got Liverpool
granny up. So can you give me a little favour? Like, can you get it for a bit cheaper? You know? Yeah. Mad.
It'd be a big problem, man, if he becomes a owner. Like you said, he will change a lot. He will change the name, everything. He won't care what we say as a fan base. Let's just put it that way.
Of course he won't.
He won't care.
Of course, he does what he would do. What
he wants,
right?
Yeah.
I don't want no Simpsons characters in my football club, man. No.
Simpsons
a disaster.
characters. Yeah, he's got about 14 children. Do you imagine the executive boxes, man? They have to kick half.
His
of
whole
them out.
family would be in there.
I don't think we'll get tickets anymore after that, man.
No, no. They build a half a new stand just to bring in his extended family. It'll be all the players come to games in Cybertrucks.
Oh.
We're gonna have RGT2 up front.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, freaking hell. Steve says Arne should go strong against Spurs, rest some of the main players in the FA Cup, then go strong against Forest. Man,
Yeah,
Forest
same
is
as.
going to be a difficult game, guys. It's going to be a very difficult game.
Looking forward to it though.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that one. Oh yeah. I want to win that one. Bring them down to earth, man. That's my mission against them. Bring them down to bloody earth again, man.
Ravi says playing players that are costing us in games isn't good enough if we are on course to win the league. I don't know if players are intentionally costing us, mate. Trent's been playing like this for a long time, but nobody ever said anything before. All of a sudden, there's a contractual issues. People are coming out, having a go at him. Like, what about Everton away last season? Has anyone talked about that? I mean, the guy wasn't pulling his weight in that game, and that's the title decider. Don't forget. You know what I mean, you can't just pick and choose what games like Trent. I'm not talking about you, Ravi. I'm talking about just in general, brother. You can't pick and choose when to pick on Trent. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not on that boat, mate. I mean, I don't care. Really, if Trent plays, he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. If he plays good, he plays good. If he plays bad, he plays bad. Because that's the Trent I know anyway. You know what I mean? Nothing's changed with me and Trent. He's been doing the same thing since he's been at Liverpool. We've been talking about him defending badly for years. Well, all of a sudden, you woke up? Everybody woke up at a coma now. And you know, speaking about him playing the way he is. Like, come on, man. I've always said that, JK and Brian. Be consistent with your arguments. You know what I mean? Don't just come out now and have a go at Trent. What about before that? What were you before that? You was defending him. Now, all of a sudden, you're coming out having a go at him. Like, be consistent with your arguments, man. Don't be two-faced, man. Spot on, JK. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, those people had corner taken quickly for their avatar, you know? They're the same people that were out there saying he was the best in the world.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, Brian, I'm consistent with my. You could ask JK, Brian. I don't know if you watch my stuff. We only met once, I think, before on here, didn't we? I think you came on once with 12 Man. I'm consistent with my stuff, bro. I don't beat around the bush. I don't lie to people. I say how it is. If people like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. You know what I mean? And the truth always prevails, as you know, Brian and JK. Because if you keep lying to yourself and then coming out now, having a go at Trent about a few months ago, you was defending him. When he was doing the same thing, that's not the right way to go about it, man. That's not the right way.
Like, you got to separate that stuff. The players, the game, the situation. For me, I'm just talking about the Man United game. Yeah, Trent was terrible. Has he been good for Liverpool? Yeah. That's it. You know, 100%. It's all about the timing. Not good time to have a game like that, though.
Yeah, that's true. Steve says biggest threat to LFC to Liverpool, sorry, not winning the title. Cheap, broke FSG. Always, man. Always. I'm not in that boat anyway. But I want to listen to this, guys. If you guys don't know about, obviously, Elon. A lot of people were, you know, not believing Elon Musk is interested at Liverpool. This is his dad speaking about it. You could decide for yourself if he's interested or not. This is their talk sport, so let's just listen to it. It's not long. It's only 4 minutes. That's and cool. We could discuss it after. Are you guys busy, Brian and JK?
No, it's cool. That's cool.
Brian?
No.
Okay. Let's go.
Get to this because it's intriguing me. There's much talk over in the USA that tech billionaire Elon Musk, who'd be good in this show with you, we must try and get a hold of Musk and get him on, is in a bid to expand his power here in the UK, is reportedly looking to buy a football club. And that football club is Liverpool. Elon Musk's dad, Errol, joined the evening edition with Kate Borsey on Times Radio late last night. And the question was put to him, your boy, Elon, is he buying Liverpool?
Does your son want to buy Liverpool Football Club?
I can't comment on that. They'll raise the price. I can't comment on that.
Yes or no? But, come on, does he?
No,
has he expressed a desire?
Let's get back to Nigel.
Come on, Errol. Come on. Has he expressed a desire to buy Liverpool Football Club?
Oh, yes. But that doesn't mean he's buying it, you know. So,
but it is in his sights. It is in his sights.
He would like to, yes. Obviously, anybody would want to, so would I.
But not
Yeah.
everyone's got enough cash, have they, for that?
No.
Why Liverpool Football Club?
Well, his grandmother was born in Liverpool, and we have relatives in Liverpool. And we were fortunate enough to know quite a few of the Beatles, because they grew up with us and my family and stuff. And so we're attached to Liverpool,
I'm not sure what to make of that. I mean, he's showing great interest in many things UK.
What do you guys think of that? Obviously, it's a strong interest from what I can hear. I don't think it's not true now. If his dad is saying they're going to overprice the club if we talk about it. So do you believe they're interested, Brian and JK?
I hadn't heard. I wasn't expecting something as kind of strong as that.
Can you believe, Brian? I couldn't believe when I was hearing it, bro.
I mean, yeah, I was kind of, and that big evil villain laugh he did at the start when he was asked, I was like, and he goes, I can't talk about it or to put the price up. And then he talks about it for 2 minutes straight, about why he'd love to buy the club. Of course he'd love to buy the club. Of course he wants it. Yeah. So I didn't see those. Man,
you didn't hear this? You didn't hear this?
No, this is the first time I'm actually seeing this.
Wow. Yeah, guys.
That is kind of blown my mind a little bit, yeah.
They're interested, guys. Whether we like to say, JK, I'm sorry, mate.
I'm an Everton fan.
Yeah, JK wants to go to Everton, get FSG to take over Everton. That's how.
That's my dream team.
Yeah, that's the dream team, right?
I'll take Lee with me as well. Whoa,
It's not looking good, JK.
It's not looking good. Like, he sounded like a villain out of Dracula. That guy,
mate. It's what Brian said. That laugh is, when you do that laugh, that means something's happening, mate. Something is happening behind the scenes, guys. And when he said he didn't want to discuss it because they might put the price up, they are doing something, man. I'm scared now, guys.
Yeah, because for me, it's perfect for FSG. Why? They're selling it to a guy who's on their sort of part of the world. He's got enough money so they can put the whatever price to him, and then he will pay it. Hence why FSG are not going to buy no one again this January window.
Yes.
But for me, if this guy comes into the club, I don't really want to support Liverpool no more. That's how serious I am.
Mm-hmm.
I love Liverpool since day one. I can imagine all of us are all in the same sort of boat and stuff. But for me, having this guy, I don't know. God knows what he's up to. He's into witchcraft, Satanism. Oh, God knows. I don't want this type of character associated with Liverpool Football Club. Now, like, what I would really love to see is the real Liverpool fans be on the same page as me. Yeah. I've seen people in the comments, oh, come, Mr. Musk, we need you, and oh, welcome, and this, that, and the other, And I can imagine a lot of the Indian Liverpool fans will be all up in that because they love Musk anyway. God knows why. Yeah. So they'll be like,
rockets and shit. Do you launch some rockets over there or something? I know they do space stuff.
He invests in it. He invested in there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he probably gave them a load of money for rockets and shit.
This is scary,
man.
guys.
Do you know what's going to happen? Because you put 2 and 2 together, and you end up with Trump coming to a game at Anfield because he's up. Because he's his best mate now.
That's his best mate. So
that's his best mate. So you're gonna have Donald Trump doing a visit with Melania, sitting there like a waxwork, looking at the game, and everybody's just like, "What the hell is it?" It's
but like you could look at the bigger picture. You could look at the bigger picture. When you look at the bigger picture, he's for me a character in this reality we call life. Yeah. Musk is like a cartoon character, and he's there. Does he really own Twitter, X, or whatever? Because for me, ever since he's owned it, it's gone pure right-wing politics. There's no fun there. There's nothing, and this guy's the leader of that. And Liverpool is a socialist city. Okay?
Exactly.
This guy has to keep away from the club. Like, come on, man. There's no
anybody that can afford to send rockets into space just for the crack is just. There's too much money, and that's literally like Bond villain shit going on right there. This guy would, like you said, it's JK. We're a social city. That should always be the way. Liverpool, I don't know. Hopefully, but what they'll say? They'll probably say, "Oh, but but all you guys said you didn't want like Saudi. You didn't want like a nation state takeover. You didn't want Arab oil money." well, what do you got to say against this guy? Is it because he's, I don't know, freaking space alien or something? You know, it's like, what do you want? But these people don't understand finance either. The Saudis are finding out now at Newcastle.
Oh
They
yeah.
nearly had to sell Gordon. It don't matter how much money you have in the bank. If you can't meet PSR in England and then the UEFA FFP, like UEFA FFP is even stricter than PSR. So if you qualify for the Champions League, you have to meet UEFA FFP, which is why Barcelona can't register Dani
They're
Olmo.
fucked. They are fucked them.
Yeah, like Elon Musk couldn't just walk in there tomorrow and go, "Here's 500 million," and fix that. That's not allowed anymore. The Saudis are finding that out at Newcastle. They bought Newcastle about 6 years too late. If they'd gone in ahead of the tightening of the rules, they could have
be
put
like
down
Man
2
City
billion
right
on
now,
players, and they'd have freaking Messi and Ronaldo and whatever.
But
they
people
bought
don't
it
know
too
that
late.
they're the richest club in the world. You know, it's not Man City. They are the richest club in the world. Newcastle. If you look at the financial side of
Ownership
things,
wise, yeah.
yeah. It's madness, man. Gene says Spurs didn't invest enough in the summer. Expression gave them a 2 out of 10. Spurs is Spurs, Gene. They're never gonna change. You know what I mean, they've won. You know what shocked me, guys? Like Spurs won only 2 titles in their entire history, and people talk about them like they're a massive club. 2 titles. Oh man. Steve says yes. That's true. Arne has to demand more, or end of the day he can bug off. Yeah, let me just go through the comments, guys, before we just end it there. 11 versus Spurs, Becca, Brad, Kwanzaa, Virgil, Simicast, McAllister, Ryan, Gravenberch, Salah, Dom, Gakpo, Nunes. That's a strong team.
Nunes is suspended, and
yeah. Is
or
it
is
that
he
game?
not-
Is it
or is it
the
Forest
cup or
game?
the
No,
Premier
sorry,
League?
no, he's suspended for the Premier League actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Kelleher or Nunes, come on, man. Kelleher will start. Kelleher is our cup keeper. So,
Yeah, I think he'll start as well.
yeah, Kelleher will definitely start.
Because Alisson's let a few goals in since he's come back.
Yeah.
Kelleher deserves
okay.
his spot.
Do you think
Definitely.
with Kelleher, Brian and JK, with Kelleher, are we being unfair to him? You know, in regards to Alisson coming back straight away, should we took our time with Alisson? That's both of you.
Tough call. JK?
Oh, it's a tough question. Like for me, yeah, I think he got dropped too quick. I think he should have just let Alisson stay the bench for another game and stuff. I think Kelleher has been great for us, you know what I mean, this season again. He's number 2. So for me, he's starting tomorrow. But I think Kelleher could have carried on in the Premier League as well. Until a point where he might have got injured or he's had a bad game, letting 2-3 goals, you know, or whatever. But I think Kelleher could have kept the jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we brought Alisson back too early, man. I honestly think that. I watched him against Man United the other day. I don't think Alisson was all that, to be fair, guys. I don't think anyone... This is what I'm saying. People pick and choose who they criticize. You know what I mean? If you look at Alisson's handling in that game, and even that goal, the second goal, Alisson normally would put something on that goal. I mean, I don't think it was a hard... I don't think he blasted it in, did he? He just placed it, didn't he? In the middle of the goal. And Alisson didn't really take a good position for him to save it anyway. And if you look at his handlings in the game, he was dropping the ball a lot. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think... there's a lot of criticism in that game, in my opinion, that people avoided. I've got to be honest.
Well, Kelleher, Fozzie, quickly, Kelleher did do an interview about 8, maybe a couple of months ago, and he was sitting there and he's saying, no, because Ali was out at the time. And he's come in for Ali a good few times now.
Yeah.
And he said, look, I know, he was been asked about his future at the club. And he said, look, I know what the reality is. When the main man comes back, it doesn't matter what I do. When the main man comes back, he'll come into the team. Yeah, that's reality I know at this club. But if you look at how the amount of times he's come in for him, you know, the kind of, well, obviously Ali will get his place back thing. The gap between that was never as narrow as it was this last time.
Yeah.
It was so close to kind of almost being, does he lose his place? Whereas before it was like, well, look, obviously as soon as Ali's back, he'll come back into the team. But yeah, I think Kelleher, was he unlucky? But Ali would have come back in at some point. But
Ali's the
yeah,
best goalkeeper in the world. There's no doubt about that. I'm not doubting that.
yeah,
But what I look at, Brian, is if Kelleher is doing well, keep him on. Like, don't rush Alisson back. You know what I mean? If the team is doing good, just
yeah.
let it be for a bit. You know what I mean? Then there's a time to bring Alisson in. You know what I mean? But when you're bringing him back straight away, that's very disrespectful for the goalkeeper that stood in and kept you top of the league at the same time as well. It's not like we dropped off of the league. we was winning games. You know what I mean? And not only that, I don't know about you guys. When I look at Alisson, I think the team is too relaxed when Alisson's in goal. I honestly think that. I think when Kelleher is in goal, they have to be like in top of their game every single time. I'm not saying Kelleher is a bad goalkeeper. They know the difference. You know what I mean? There's a difference between those two goalkeepers. Kelleher is a great goalkeeper, but Alisson is a world-class goalkeeper. He's the best, in my opinion, in the world. When I look at Alisson in goal, I think we face more shots than Kelleher. I honestly think that. I think the defense is too relaxed. I think the midfield ain't the same when Kelleher is there, because normally we defend from the front, then we go to the midfield and then we go to the back. But when I look at Alisson right now, like since he's been back, I think he faced more shots than Kelleher ever did before him. I don't know if you disagree with that, but I honestly think that. I think when Alisson's in goal, the defense is too relaxed and there's too many shots going towards our goal, because they know he's the best goalkeeper in the world. That's what it is. And when you got a big presence at the back, he's more or less going to save those things in it, instead of like you overstretching for the ball and things like that.
Yeah, I heard Klopp say something along those lines before, where he said something like, you can, if you have the best goalkeeper in the world, you can play with a higher line, you can take more risks, because you're backing that even if that gets broken down, you've got that world-class goalkeeper. It's sort of, it's one of the risk-reward things. I think you're bang on with that one, man. Yeah, we do allow more chances in on him because of that mentality, maybe.
100%. Listen, if you got the big presence behind you, you're gonna relax more, aren't you? Let's just be honest. When you haven't got that, and it's a mind, it's a psychological thing, innit? It's the mind thing, innit? When you got Alisson behind you, you're more or less not gonna concede a goal, even when they go one-on-one with him. But with Kelleher, who's not as listen, they're not in the same class. Let's be honest there. You're gonna think, I need to do extra here. I need to put myself about. Like your concentration level is different. That's what I'm trying to say, Brian and JK. Yeah. It's different to when Kelleher is there, and I honestly think that.
Yeah. Just like they want to support Kelleher a bit more. Why? Because he's not better than Alisson, so they're a bit weary.
Yeah.
But it keeps them sharp on their toes and very. We sort of played better when Kelleher was in goal.
100%.
100%. He played great, man. Respect to him for doing that.
Steve says Arne got schooled by Amaron tactics. Arne messed up on, i.e., bringing on Nunes. Yeah, that was a bad one, man. The Nunes bringing on Brian. I don't know about you and JK. Like, I thought it was bad decision in my opinion. Because at the time we was winning 2-1, wasn't we? Like, was it just before?
It went 1-1. When it went 1-1.
Then what happened while they were getting ready on the sidelines to come on? They ended up scoring.
Wow.
So, he could have said, you know what, Darwin, sit back down, Endo, get your shoes on, we're playing,
Gakpo scored that goal when they were both standing there waiting to come on.
Yeah.
Freaking hell, man.
But they celebrated like big time, the pair of them. So what could you do, we had 4 attackers on the pitch at that time.
Yeah. Not taking off Trent, Robbo, Jones at halftime, not going for 4-5-1 counter attack last 10 minutes, poor game management. Yeah, I thought these type of games you gotta be more more in tune, more awake for you to win it as well. Like Brian and JK said, the form is out the window in these type of games, and our attitude towards it was just completely wrong, in my opinion. I think that us as fans as well, some of us say 4-0, 3-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. We should have realized that. I think we've it's like JK said earlier, the players do they do look at social media as well. You know what I mean? And if we're giving them that kind of praise, to beat a team by that many goals, they're gonna start thinking they could do that. If you know what I mean? And they didn't. They struggled. So it is what it is. It is what it is. What do you guys think about that?
Fozzie on the Nunes one, just quickly. JK will tell you, I not only would I have not brought Nunes on, Nunes would no longer be at this club if it was up to me. He would have been sold in the summer.
That's something I've got here actually
So-
on the thing. Let me put it out there.
You know, if you're trying to convince a manager that you can contribute to a team and that's what you do when you come on in a big game like that,
he's not good enough, bro. Like, you know what I said before, Brian, is if you give the guy 3 seasons to improve and he hasn't improved, you're more or less done. You know what I mean? If you look at other big clubs, they give you 1 season, maybe 1 season and a half, and you're going midway. But for us, we're still doing Nunes, and we're still keeping him around, and he's showing nothing. We bought this guy for over 80 million to score goals. He can't even do that. Apparently, he's got more yellow cards than goals this season. So, like, what more can we do? We've done our bit towards him. There's no fan base in the world of football more patient than Liverpool fans. 3 seasons, guys. Like, we gave this guy, and he's still doing.
and
the
he's
same
getting
thing.
worse. He's getting worse.
That's the thing. You're spot on, Brian.
He's not
I'll tell you
getting
why.
better.
Do you remember he used to get chances, like 3 or 4 chances a game? Now he's not even getting that anymore. He's not even hitting the target anymore. I mean, so like Brian said, it's getting worse and worse. But you go on, Brian. What do you think of it, mate? And JK?
No, JK knows what I think. I mean, like 2 years, I can't, like, people say, oh, you need to give him this, you need to give him. He's had 2 years at an elite football club. What club goes around giving 65 million pound, 80 million pound strikers 2 years to find out what happens? Nobody. That's just not a thing. Like, why are we the club that has to do that? Like, just because the guy loves the club, because he works hard, please, man. Like, he came in with the whole chaos thing. I didn't sign up for chaos. You know, I signed up for goals. You know, it's like, everything about him was a myth as far as I was concerned. Everything about this kid has always been a myth. He'll score like, he'll go like 12 games without scoring a goal, and you'll criticize him, and then he'll score in a game and it'll be like a decent goal, and then all these people are like, ha, see, you were wrong. Okay, let's wait till the next one. Let's see how long it takes for the next one to come along. There could be 8 more, 9 more games. You'd say, oh, why is he not confident? Because he's not playing. Why is he not playing? Why are you not getting picked? Because you're not good enough. Klopp dropped him the whole time. The beginning of last season, the end of last season. Slaughter, he only put him back in the team when Jota got injured. He's done absolutely nothing. That idea, when he came on last night trying to do that thing, like to show the fans that he cared by getting a fucking yellow card, that's not what we want you to do, man. I don't want you to come on and show you care by being all hot-headed and Uruguayan and slamming into somebody in the most obvious foul of all time. The guy, to me, he's a flop. He's a busted flush. I like him. I wish him well. I hope he has a good career at Atletico Madrid. But no, man. Please, just go and do it. It's best for him. It's best for us. Just go and do your thing somewhere else, whatever your thing is.
Do you know what I said, Brian? I said about him. I said if Liverpool had any intelligence, if they were like clued on, I'll give him to Atletico Madrid and get Alvarez. Alvarez is so suited to Liverpool, it's unreal. He could play those 3 positions and he could play as a number 10 as well. If you know what I mean, like there's always a price in it, Brian and JK, for players. Why not? Give them Darwin. I'll guarantee Darwin will score a lot of goals down there.
He's the most Atletico Madrid player of all time.
Yes.
He is the most Atletico Madrid player of all time.
I don't know why people can't spot that, Brian. I asked Jake. You could see in my stream, if you know the videos, when I do pre-recorded videos, I put a transfer at the with him and Alvarez. I said, you can see, Brian. You see what I see.
Crazy South American number 9 plus Atletico Madrid equals perfect.
Thank you very much, bro. See, Brian, we think alike, bro. It's madness. Like you said the same.
And you can see him in the kit as well.
There's always a price, bro. There's always a price for players. You give them this guy plus money. Get Alvarez the other way. They're around the same age anyway, and we're fine. Both teams will be fine. They can score goals with this guy over there. Bigger pitches, time on the ball to think, you know what I mean? And, going behind the defense with his pace, he'll be fine. Over here, small pitch, fans on top of you, it's going to be difficult for you no matter what, if you know what I mean. So Alvarez, Brian, mate. Like, when I said that, man, people don't understand. You understand, Brian and JK, but people don't understand like how perfect Alvarez would have been for Liverpool Football Club if we got him. There's always price for players, man, and that guy suits us to the T, man. Everybody's looking at different players. I'm telling you, Alvarez is the one for Liverpool, guys. And Brian, thank you for saying
How
that
do you
because
go there
nobody
and
can see
get that?
Huh?
How do you go there and get him? They've just paid 90 for him. How are we going there and getting him?
Well, if we probably, give them this guy and just pay, I don't know, 40, 50, whatever on top of that, why not? Why not?
It'd be Darwin and basically the bones of what we paid for Darwin in the first
I think
place.
that would be perfect there, though, bro. I honestly think that would be perfect there.
Yeah. I'm all with you, man. When I saw Alvarez, and it's like, then you see, it's like, okay, he's gone to City now, so it's going to take about 3 transfers to us to ever get this guy. But when Haaland dropped out of that team, he'd come in and he'd just run the show. As a little number 10, he had quiet games there, but when he was on it, he can do everything. He can finish. He can play it.
If you want him to be, if you want him to be Bobby Firmino, he could be Bobby Firmino. If you want him to be like Ian Rush, he could be Ian Rush. If you want him to be Mo Salah, he could be Mo Salah. If you want him to be, Mane, he can be Mane. He's a hard-working player, mate. And not only that, what I love about Alvarez is he's clinical in front of goal. He will, if he sees the goal, he will score. That's how good that Alvarez is, and this is what I advocated for, man. I said it. If you're smart, you could do a business like that. Alvarez suits us to the T, Brian. I swear to you, mate. I looked far and wide. What player will suit the players that we have at our football club? Alvarez is the one. I'm glad you said that, bro, because I don't think many people see that, man. What we're talking about right now.
Perfect. Perfect for me.
Jones got bullied by that kid, Kobe Mano. Jones get bullied by everybody. When Jones starts holding onto the ball, that's what he does. He just doesn't let it go for some reason. With Jones, guys, I don't know if you agree with me. He doesn't scan the area before he gets the ball. Good players, what they do is they look around before they get the ball, what to do next. Well, with Jones, he just wants to use his body and try to get out of, tight situations. He does that a lot. That's the problem with Jones, and that's something he's got to learn in the training ground. Scan the area before you actually receive the ball. Do you agree, JK, or
I would say he sort of got rid of that, like holding on the ball too long. And I've seen him times scan situations and he's put himself in a position where he can take care of the situation, So that's in his game. But I felt like against United, Mano and Agati had him running around in circles, And every time he got the ball as well, he sort of kept on hold to it too long. He needs to be a second quicker sometimes, If he just got the ball, bang, bang. He sort of holds on to it too long sometimes.
Yeah.
But I reckon he was one to blame for that game on Sunday, like that. We didn't get a win. Him, Trent, say, for example.
Yeah, 100%, man. Steve says, welcome to the panel, Brian. You sound like Kieran. Yeah, Kieran's a legend, man. I miss Kieran. I don't know what's happened to Kieran. Kieran just disappeared. Welcome to the panel, man. I agree with Fozzie, Brian, on Trent. Yeah. Listen, we're not going to beat around the bush here. You guys know us, man. We're always going to tell the truth about players, man. You can't pick and choose when to pick on players, man. I'm sorry. Trent Alexander is ours still till he's got not. Yeah, 100%, G. I only criticize him on the pitch. I don't care outside the pitch. It doesn't really bother me. It's not my thing with Trent outside the pitch, to be fair, guys. The contract signing, that should have been done a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. You don't put yourself in this situation. As a big club, you don't put yourself in this situation. You know what I mean? And that's what we've done. Big clubs don't act like this. You know what I mean? And the worst part of it is, Real Madrid come to bully us. They're not going after, Man City players. They don't go after Arsenal players. They don't go after, the other teams, Chelsea, etc. But they always come after Liverpool players or the players that we go for. We've got American owners. We must have the weakest Americans ever. Because normally they say you don't mess around with Americans. You know what I mean? But for some reason, with the Americans that we have, everybody messes with us. You know what I mean? So how can a small country like Spain mess with Liverpool Football Club? I don't care how big the Real Madrid is, but they come to bully us every single time. How is that right? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Not only that they took the players that we wanted, now they're coming after our players, and it's okay. Weird, very strange. A lot of
Did
Liverpool
you
fans.
hear the
Go on,
story? Sorry,
go
Far,
on,
did you hear
Brian.
the
Anytime,
story
bro.
that came out last night about VVD's agent offering him to Madrid? Did you hear that story?
Is that true? That this?
Yeah, I heard
I
about
don't
that.
know, but it
Yeah.
came out that he's. I mean, but look, that's if you're an agent and your client has not been offered a contract, it's your job to go out there and check his potential future possibilities. You know, if he hasn't been offered a deal by his current club, it's his job to go out there and find out what's on the market. So apparently, he did go to Real Madrid to find out if they would be interested in taking on VVD. So that shows you that
Wow.
we haven't got anything on the table in front of him. Because he's just doing his due diligence. That's his client. It's his job to look after his client's future.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, so he's like, well, you haven't been offered a deal by Liverpool. I'm going to go out and find out what your possibilities are in the summer. That's my freaking job. And it's been come out now that he went to Real Madrid to see if they'd be interested in, if he did become a free agent, would they be interested in signing?
Well, they've got the right now, and January's here now, so
Yeah.
they could speak to any club.
This is what we said, man. If this shit wasn't, as soon as this January the 1st thing comes along, this is just going to be story after story after story after story until these things get signed. This is going to be every second day of the week now, especially in January.
We're
You
in
know,
trouble,
it's going to be a
guys, man.
circus. It's just going to be a circus.
Brian, it's like you said, we knew this was coming, innit? We knew this was coming. If we continued until January, I don't know about you guys, but I did say in my streams, like, you know, when January comes, if we don't sign the players to the contract, all hell is going to break loose. The worst part of it is, guys, we're in a title challenge, and this is happening. So, you know, like all this, you know, bad, you know, issues around us can, you know, lead to a team dropping off eventually. You know, we're already apparently our players are already having fights in the changing room after the Man United game. I don't know if you guys
Should
heard
have been.
about that.
Yeah, they
With
should
the
have been.
Van Dijk, Nunes, and Trent. Van Dijk had to go at both of them, apparently.
Yeah,
So
he should have been. I would have been shocked. I would have been disappointed if they weren't kicking off after that game.
So yeah, things are already happening, guys. I mean, you need to nip this kind of stuff in the bud, but we're not doing that. We're allowing things like this to happen to our football club. As a fan base, we need to like come out, stick together through stages like this. Like, you know, it's one season too many, in my opinion, Brian and JK. Like, if you look at down the years, we sat back and did nothing about it, and we lost league titles. If you know what I mean, I could count like 4 times this happened now, and. How long can you like take this shit that's happening around our football club? Real ownership don't allow things like this to happen. They make sure outside influences that never gets involved on the pitch. But for some reason, we sit here and we allow these things to happen on a consistent basis, season in, season out. It's another season now. Things are happening in January. Last season, it was Klopp leaving. Everybody said we're gonna pull together, do it for Klopp. No, you didn't. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the season, Trent is crying for Klopp. Well, if you performed better in the previous games, you know what I mean? Maybe Klopp will still be here if we were in the league. You know what I mean? So, like, come on, man. It's just the thing is, Brian and JK, we don't deserve this. You know, as a fan base, we don't deserve this. I've seen, you know, other clubs who are, you know, in a better position than us, who have no fans in the stands, get better treatment than we do. That's what pisses me off. That's why I always come out and say what I want to say. You know, Man City don't deserve to be where they are in regards to the fan base that they have. Look what's happened recently. I don't know if you guys watch Man City games. They got empty seats because they're not challenging for the league title anymore. But if it's Liverpool, we'll still be there. We sat through Roy Hodgson. You know what I mean? Even in the bad situations, we was getting tickets to go and watch Liverpool through Roy Hodgson era, watching Polstons and Koncheskis and all these useless players. We still fill the stadium. Man City just like they're not challenging for a title this season. Their stands are empty, but they still get, you know, what they want. Oh man, can't watch this anymore, man.
Yeah, man. That's what football just a weird. They've like sort of destroyed football. These people, you know. Money always ruins everything, and money sort of ruined football from top to bottom. You know, like Elon Musk. Why does he want to buy Liverpool? Why? Because his grandma's from there? I don't really think so. Does he actually like football? That's another question, you know. So that's football, man. It's a money-making thing, and a lot of political agendas are used through football. All these things, you know.
Madness, bro.
JK, I'll just say one thing, Fozzie, on what JK said earlier on. We don't normally always we always kind of not always on the same wavelength when it comes to finances, but I think you were spot on. Like I've always said, basically, FSG bought an old rundown old mansion for £1 million, and they did it right, and now they've turned that mansion into something that's worth £100 million, right? And that's what they want. They want to get their money on the back end. So if you've gone all the way from turning it from £1 million into 100 million, and you think someone's interested in buying it, you're not going to go out and spend another £1 million on some new gold gates and some new fancy marble because you think you might be selling this thing in 6 months, right? You've gotten it up to its value. So sometimes, if they think they might be about to sell a club, they won't go out and start spending big in the market because they're thinking, no, we're going to be out of here in 8 months. Yeah. So I think if there is a sale on the horizon, there's no reason that they go, do you know what, we're going to go and splash the cash in January now. There'd be no chance. They're just going to sit tight. The value is what the value is. It won't go down because they don't buy Zubimendi and someone in January. So, that definitely would line up for me that if they're thinking they might be selling it, they're not going to spend any more money or as little as possible.
It's amazing, Brian, though. Like, it was a small paper that let out Elon Musk want to take over Liverpool. Now his dad is saying the same thing, you know what I mean? So it must be truth into it, you know what I mean? And you're right. It could be someone buying the club. That's why they're not spending as much as, well, they never spend anyway, but that's why they're probably not spending now in January when we need it the most. Oh, man, this is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Mike says, big up correction. It's not us letting it happen. It's FSG letting it happen. I'm saying us letting it happen in a way of, we're not protesting enough. We're not letting them know. With FSG, the only time they react is when we challenge them as a fan base. And I don't think we do that enough in regards to, financing the team. There's no more excuse, about the stand anymore. The stand has already been built. It's there. People are sitting on it. I'm going to be sitting on it against Lille in a few weeks' time.
That was embarrassing when the roof was leaking, man, wasn't it?
What was that all about, guys?
That was embarrassing. After all the shit we've given them about their leaky roof, and then to see that was embarrassing, man.
No, I was laughing, man.
Sack that cameraman who pointed in. Get whoever that cameraman. He ain't working at Anfield again.
I can't believe we put that there, man. I can't believe it, man.
After all the stick we've given them.
I said, how did you actually build this that stand? You know what I mean?
That's the new stand. Yeah, that's not even one of the old stands. That's the new stand.
Brian, we're embarrassing, bro. They better work on that right now, man. I'm telling you, mate.
Oh, that builder's getting a call. You need to get back here, mate. That roof you put in ain't working, mate.
Goodness gracious me. A lot of Liverpool fans are losers the way they support this club. Happy to go along with what the club is doing, then moan when we didn't do anything to make us great to get more. Yeah, you're spot on, bro. I agree with that. People pick and choose. I mean, that's what it is. People could pick and choose, innit? I can't in it. Ball-headed. I know what you guys mean. I'm not talking about Trent. I mean Robbo Jones. Yeah. Listen, with Robbo, I've always said it. I've got no issues with Robbo in regards to him as a player for Liverpool Football Club. We know he hasn't got what he had before. The thing that worries me is when players are playing the way he plays right now, it's those fans that's gonna criticize him and forget his legacy at the football club. That's why I say it's time to play different players in that left back position. Change up sometimes. I mean, he doesn't have to play every game. Kells deserves to keep his place. They would suit him. They need to sort out the fighting between themselves, or it will be toxic. You're spot on, Cedric. No doubt about that. What does when does this window close? I think at the end of the month, Gene. At the end of the month.
February 3rd.
February 3rd.
Yeah.
February 3rd at 11 o'clock.
Whatever happened to the 31st of January? Why is that new?
I don't know.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. Well, it used to be
We're
end of
not
month,
buying
right?
anyone. Anyway.
Yeah, the
There's
old days of
all
the
of it.
Sky Sports news outside Anfield, those days are gone, really, aren't they?
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, that guy. That lad's always
Reporter goes home at 4:30. On midnight.
Guys, where can people find you? Go on, Brian. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, you can find me on my channel. I never used to have a channel, actually, so I can say that.
Oh, wow.
now.
You got a channel now, yeah? That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
put his link in there.
Yeah, put the link, please, bro. Put the link.
Yeah. Yeah, I go live most days. The usual stuff, different things.
Yeah.
Lots of clickbait thumbnails and stuff and titles, but it's not. But anyway, it's just a bit of crack, just a bit of fun. Most often, it's always a call in as well. My channel, there's always a link in the chat, so anybody can call in anytime. It's always an open house.
I love that.
But
man.
tonight I will be taking over 12 Man's channel. We're going to be holding that down for 12 Man tonight, starting at 7 p.m. So every night, also probably every night, almost every night, 5-6 nights a week on 12 Man's channel, 7 to 8 p.m. in UK.
Nice. Yeah, please go and subscribe to 12 Man as well, as you
I'll
guys.
put his in there.
Yeah, put his one in there, please, as well. Yeah, guys, it's been a great show. I don't know if you guys agree, but it's been a great show.
Great show, yeah, brilliant.
We've covered everything in regards to obviously the game that's coming up against Spurs. We've covered obviously the Liverpool Man United game. We've covered Elon Musk. We've covered everything, like, you know, the connection between the fans and the players, and the players between each other and all that stuff. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Obviously, that's Brian's channel, the one that's there. This is 12 Man's channel. Please go and subscribe to him as well. Two great people, as you guys know. They've been on this channel, obviously, and you know, we're a community, we're a Liverpool community, and going on each other's channels, and, you know, people going to, you know, go on the chat down there to help people out. It's what it's all about. There's no egos here. Never ego with me. I'm always supportive of Liverpool fans, no matter where they are in the world. And that's the way we should be at the end of the day. We're different from other clubs, and I love that. I really love that about our football club.
Cheers, Mickey.
Big up, Mick, man. Guys, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. JK, do you want to say anything before we go?
No, peace, people. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and press the like button and subscribe to the links. I'll put them in there for 12 and Brian. And thanks for having us on, bro.
You know, you guys are welcome, man. You don't have to say that. Thank you so much, everyone. Real talk is always needed. Much love. Big up, G, man. Big up, G. Always.
Thank you, man.
Always. All right, guys, I'm off. Thank you for coming on. Honestly, thank you, guys. I appreciate that. We're gonna do some more shows together anyway. You guys are always welcome here. You know that. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.
Vice
Take care,
versa,
everybody.
vice versa.
Thank you, Brian, bro. Thank you, JK.
Okay, bro.
Take care, everybody. See you soon.